Oosh. Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Ganjikidd. I'm super chuffer. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear and your left ear. Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Ganjikidd. I'm super chuffer. Yep, it's working. It's rolling. I've not pressed that button to insert the ads, although it came up with the pop-up again. So apologies if you get ads. YouTube is really trying hard to get me to pump them, but I'm refusing to pump them. So I think it will just pump them itself. How are you all doing? Let's see who's in chat. We've got ourselves Lottie, Nyla, Ricky. We've got K9. We've got Neil. We've got Sarah. We've got Kathleen. We've got Candice. Echo444. We've got Damien, Bonnie, and Wendy, and Catkins, and your names are starting to repeat. Judith, Manuela. So I'll stop reading them. Richard, G Bones, April. Yeah, we've got a load of you here. Oh, and of course Claire X. It's got a load of you here, all good in the hood. Title alone, I know this is going to be... I'll do a little bit of housekeeping first. Today, of course, we are watching new. I say new, I mean, they're new to me. I should have put new on the title of the video. People like something that's new. They're new to me. You might have seen them before. I haven't. 2 new... Good evening, Damien. 2 new Emma Bulley videos. So there's one here, which I've called R.E. Peter Folding. I've actually ripped this off a TikToker. I mean, I haven't ripped it off them. They ripped it off the news, and then they've uploaded it to TikTok. Misper44 on TikTok, if you want your name up there. But I've uploaded it to here, to YouTube, so that we can do this, you know, frame by frame analysis. So I've got that. And then we've got another one on YouTube, which is with Kate Garraway and this chuffer in the morning. Very early in the morning, you have to get up, don't you? In the morning. It doesn't look like a top zipped all the way up. Anyway, look. Kate Garraway, looking very surprised in the morning these days. She's been through a lot, bless her. And, well, mainly her husband went through it. But anyway, look, the episode here is Nicola Bulley in the morning, this morning. And here she is, Emma again. So here's another one I haven't watched. This one, her hair is down. A bit different. It's the same day as those other interviews that we've seen. So she repeats, you know, in most of these interviews, she's going to repeat some stuff. But hopefully we'll get something new, something interesting out of them. Ben Shepherd, that's his name. Thanks very much. Happy Friday, everyone, says Jeanette. TGIF. The way I live, it's always a Friday. I don't have weekends, really. I give that up a long time ago. When I was a hairdresser, you have to work weekends, so you have a funny way of living. But this is Emma. Long hair. I've never seen her hair that long and that blonde before. So we've got 2 videos of Emma to check out. 2 interesting ones to check out. Got the relaxing video game music in the background. We've got our coffee system. Do a little bit of housekeeping at the start. Let the room fill up a little bit. Hello, everyone. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, oh, he's chatting too much at the start. I don't like it when he's chatting and you have the facility to skip forward. So that's on you. I don't want to see any more of those comments that say, oh, you do too much talking at the start. You don't get on with it. Well, that's on you, as you have the facility to skip forward. Live from St. Michael's on Wire, England. That's right, Lee James. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Roger. But yeah, generally Fridays are a good day, aren't they? Hopefully we're going to improve yours too. Let's pop the coffee thing in there. We've got a new facility on coffee, coffee.com. That's how you can do the tippies. You can also do it on super chats on YouTube. I get more of a cut from coffee.com. And if you do a coffee.com, we don't need that up on the screen anymore because... Take me just a second to get through to it. Buttons and widgets. Because if I press this button on Stream Alert, you'll see that it will read the tippy for me.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Someone sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
So when I get a tippy now, you get a picture. If you want to change the picture of the rabbits, just tell me. I'll change it. They give you a load of GIFs. You can search for a GIF. You give me the word to search for and I'll change the picture in your honour. If you want to change the picture, send me a tippy. If you want to hear your tippy read out, type the message in coffee and it will read it out. And then I'll give you the hugs. I just have to grab the ashtray. You're out, doggies. You're there then. Poor doggies. He's having a bit of a boring day today because it's raining. Oosh. Oosh. Your dog realised he can open the cupboard and find his sack of biscuits, and all I can hear is his head in the sack and crunching away, says Gopnik. Oh my god, yeah. I used to have beagles, and beagles were mad for that. They love food, they couldn't help it. But my current dog, he wouldn't do something so naughty. He's a good boy. So, we're ready to rock and roll. There is one other piece of housekeeping I want to just quickly go over. It's a bit of a disappointment, but I don't know how to approach it really. So this is my YouTube. These are the videos it suggests me. Play a lot of Genshin Impact. And watch a lot of dancing on the internet. So don't even. But these are the videos it suggests me. This is our channel, your channel, the Super Chuffer channel. You are, of course, subscribed to this channel, of course, aren't you, if you're watching this? You are, of course, subscribed. Don't make me have to come around there and check out your subscription button. I do just trust you on that. You are subscribed. Please do subscribe. Please do. So there's that. We've also got some other channels. I'm starting to try and get an editor together to resurrect Ganjikidd. So you'll see little clips of the streams and stuff like that. Sentries is where we upload some crap. Mental Health Monday.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Claire sent tippies. Did you clock when? Mr. Paul said in conversation with 5 I had time to kill. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much for the £3. 3 hugs for you. Did I clock it when he said he had time to kill? I can't remember off the top of my head, actually. If you want to timestamp it, if you want to go over to send trees, here's a good way of doing it. If anyone knows about this sort of stuff. On Sentries, which is where I'm uploading these clips and this stuff. You know, it's a scrapbook somewhere to upload this stuff so that people can rip it and upload it to their own channels, apparently. Don't get me started. If you're watching this video and he says something and you think, oh, did I spot that? Then what you can do is, for example, 5 minutes 33 in, you can go in the comments and you can write 5-33 like that. And when you press comment, it should come up blue like that. And then you can press the blue and it will take you to the time on the video. So if you find something that he said there, I mean, that's 27 minutes. I can't remember exactly where he said it. But if you know exactly where he said it, I'll find it on the video timestamp and I'll bring it up and I'll say, thank you very much. Claire, for example, has found this and we didn't spot it. I don't remember spotting it, but if he did, and I'm agreeing with you, he did. You know, I'm not saying, oh, if he did, but I think he probably did then, if you're saying he did. Then it's dodgy. Like, not just dodgy, it's bad, isn't it? We talk about these, which is what we're going to do today. We talk about these embedded confessions. We talk about how your internal dialogue is, like, if you're innocent. I watched a good one the other day. I watched these Jim Can't Swim and these, you know, crime channels, you know, that do the, I don't have to show you, you know what they are, that do the videos of the police interviews. And in the police interviews, there was the one where this kid, they asked him a question, and if he was innocent, the answer was simply no. No problem there. But if he was guilty, you'd have to think, oh, wait, hang on, do I say this or do I say that? So it's the thought process that goes on. It's not what you say necessarily always. It's the fact you're thinking it, you're pausing, you're thinking it, and through that process, then you have to say the truth. I mean, sorry, the lies, the cover-up, the whatever. You have to tell the answer. And so while you're doing that, you're thinking, don't say blue penguin, don't say blue penguin. And you say, you know, it was a really grey blue day and cold, you know, penguin cold. Like, you accidentally say it. It comes out. So, hello, Audrey. Hello, Sasha. Hello, Catkins. Said Catkins earlier. Hello, Lottie. Hello, Mickey the Monkey. Drofnats. Why would the school hand back the phone? Question mark. I don't think the school ever had the phone. I think they just were alerted to the idea that Nicola was missing. Maybe we need to do an episode on the timeline. I would actually like to do that. We'll do that today a little bit to start with. Actually, why not? Good question, and why not?
It's raining
we should
again.
do that.
I couldn't be happier.
Lady Cat's 3,000 cent tippies. Hey chuffers of Chuffington. Red heart hash, red heart hash, red heart hash.
See, it's good, isn't it, the new
Super
system
Chuffer
now?
owes 3 hugs.
It does. People said, I don't like it when it interrupts. Can you save it till there's an opportune moment to check the tippies? Yeah, there's that. But this way, okay, it interrupts, but it does it itself. I don't have to go on the other window and check it. So if you prefer it the old way, we can turn it off. There is room here for people to type whatever they want into those words and have anything read out on the internet. So, you know, comedy may ensue. But
It's raining again. I couldn't
Someone
be happier.
sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 10 hugs.
thank you. No message there. Thank you, someone, for the 10 notes. I really appreciate it. Someone keeps tipping me a lot. I mean, it might be the same someone, it might be different someone's, but someone keeps tipping me. They're generous, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And it does interrupt slightly, but it's normal for streamers to have donations going off. It's normal for it to be interrupted by my gratitude, because I am grateful. So that's okay. I think that's okay. You like the swoosh, but not the bloody narration. I've been saving. We're doing little housekeeping bits while the room fills up. If you're watching and you're angry, just have patience. Skip on. We will get to the meat and potatoes, the vegan alternative and potatoes today. We will definitely get to that. I want to show you. No, not that. Where's this PC? Storage D. Recordings, audio. I've been sorting out some new. You like the new format, says Fiona. Hello, Sue. I don't want to get rid of the old sound, the swoosh. I'm going to keep that, but I've got to be careful. I've got it on a memory stick before I change it, because otherwise it'll be gone. But that swoosh is great. But I've been saving some new sounds. I'm going to have a system where we revolve the sounds and alternate them. So it might be fun. If you've got any ideas for sounds, send them in as ideas. Put them in the chat. Put them in the comments. Your favourite sounds. What you think would make a good tippy sound. Of course, now the speaking happens. The sound kicks off and then the speaking happens. We don't need a long sound anymore. Don't need it to be so long. But these are a couple that I'm saving and I'm going to start using in the future. So I'll introduce you to them now for fun.
Ghost Gura. I'm absolutely electrified right now.
Ghost Gura.
Ghost Gura. I'm absolutely electrified right now. Ghost Gura. I'm absolutely electrified right now.
Someone suggested the work meeting. That's a good idea. Scorpio Nad says, got something you need to check out from right at the start of the case. It's too long to text now, but it's well interesting. Interesting stuff then, yeah. I hope that lots more stuff will come up. We will talk. So there's that. That's one. And this is another one that's an option.
I'm just going to say I'm thinking this is going to be great.
Great! She's a voice actress. Gura. So I quite like the way she talks and her voice, and there's some options. But if you've got any other ideas, then we can stick them in the box. And what I'll do is, as we roll, as we get the tippies come in, I'll change it around every now and then, and you'll be like, oh, there's a new sound. Oh, there's a new sound. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. So one more bit of housekeeping that I want to get out of the way, and I really want to get it out of the way. We've got these other channels. I'm really grateful if you subscribe to them as well. Check them out, all that sort of business. I want to get an editor going. So Ganjikidd, these are little clips from our channel all over the show. I'm generally playing Genshin Impact on Twitch, so I thought I'll clip little clips from my Twitch streams and I'll put them up on the internet. Now sometimes it'll be about Genshin Impact, like Genshin Impact swords. Okay, I get that. A lot of people like Genshin Impact, so I get a few views on that. But other times it might be something completely different. Like this one is reacting to the music of Genshin Impact was quite popular. This one is reacting to the Cadley and Lacey theme tune, 1981, not so popular. So they can be very different. So what I want to do is start clipping my streams, getting them up on a clips channel, shorter clips, Ganjikidd that's called. The cuts are anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour long. The clips, the actual short clips, are on its own channel again called Ganji Clips. They're Ganji because I used to be Ganjikidd. Might change it to Super Chuffer Clips. But here again, little short videos, anywhere between a minute and 10 minutes of stuff we've done on stream. And it can be a little fun bit. It can be anything. A little fun bit. So I need to get that up and going again. I'm going to get an editor involved. I've got someone in mind. I need to contact them again and get the idea rolling, the ball rolling, because we made contact about a couple of months ago now, and I haven't really lined them up with anything, but things have been moving quite quick for me. So lots of juggling balls in the air at the moment. But if we can get these channels up to 1,000 subscribers, they can be monetized, and then I can pay the editor out the monetization. So at the moment, I'm sort of saying, please subscribe to a channel with no new content for 2 months. But you might like some of the content on there because it's me. So subscribe to it. Let's get them up and going, and then we can get them monetized. I can get the editor on board. It will really help our channels. So there's that. Also, Ganji Impact. I upload my Genshin Impact gameplay to Ganji Impact. That's there if you like that sort of stuff. There it is. And there's one other bit of housekeeping that I kind of want to talk about, but I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I will do. So yesterday, hello everyone. Still people turning up. The room's still filling up, so it's okay to do my little bit of housekeeping at the start, isn't it? I think. Yeah. But we're nearly there with the full room now, so we'll get on to the Emma White stuff immediately in a minute. That's coming up. We're going to be doing more body language, embedded confessions, and reactions to Emma White. Yesterday, we did Are People Evil? Now, personally, I felt that was quite a good stream. Personally, I wanted to make other content. I discussed the idea of sticking to this sort of area of not true crime, but body language analysis, you know, whatever the Nicola Bulley area is, you want to call it, that area of content, sticking to that area, supporting it, supplementing it, making the channel a bit like that. Some people actually pushed back in chat and you said, I like it when you do messing about. I like it when we do different stuff. For example, Priceless Lessons with Paul Gascoigne was different.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish,
Annette
and
sent
then
tippies. Hi, I love your channel. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm trying to create content with a bit of difference, a bit of variety. But what I'm cautious to do is not put people off and ruin it. You know, I don't want you to come here and say, oh, I like what you're doing, but then you did all these other videos that I don't like. What's going on here? I don't want it to be confusing for you. You know, if I'm going to play a lot of Genshin Impact, I decided I'm not doing it here. I'm doing it on its own channel.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Marilu sent
and
tippies.
then swoosh.
Enjoying the Craig watching your channel.
That's crack.
Keep it up. Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
That's crack. He doesn't know how to... Well, it's not Irish, is it? Thank you very much for the 5 notes. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the bluey. I get a lot of positive. Sasha asks, am I doing the AJ fight tomorrow? I will be watching the AJ fight tomorrow, yeah. Obviously, I can't broadcast it, but I might do a watch-along, which means I watch it and you can't see it on my screen, but if you're watching it, you know, we talk. Could do that. Could do that. Who's Rita? Rita was in chat the other day and she was having a bit of an exciting day. She was getting a bit excited. She's a new chatter, Claire. What I'm trying to say is I voiced the idea yesterday on Are People Evil that we should stick to this one topic, and people sort of pushed back and said, no, I like all the chatting and the messing about, and you just said it as well in chat today. So maybe the idea of putting the other stuff elsewhere, not doing the messing about, maybe that's a bad idea. And the weird one for me is that I thought this episode, Are People Evil, would be like supplemental to the Nicola Bulley stuff. You know, it's true crime, we're talking about crime and motivations, and I thought if we investigate people's like, it didn't turn out to be what I thought it was exactly going to be, so maybe that's an issue, because it was about whether people give to charity and whether it's your obligation to help people. Are people evil? And we also looked at the one who chuffed the chuffer off the Tate Modern. We looked at that a little bit, you know, whether mental neurodivergence causes you to be like evil, or you know, we looked at stuff, dug about a bit, had a little chat, yeah, and I thought that supplemented the Nicola Bulley stuff really well. But interestingly, it's not had lots of views, not like the Nicola Bulley stuff. So I could do what someone talked to me and someone gave me some good advice and said, you want to supplement what you're doing that's popular. Nicola Bulley is the stuff on your channel that's popular. So either be a true crime channel. I said, I'm not a true crime channel. I don't want to do murder every day. And my forte is in body language analysis, really. That's why people have come here. Other people aren't doing the same body language analysis I'm doing. They're not picking out the same points. So I can stick to that. Good-o, yeah. But it's weird. More people came to the Paul Gascoigne video. It has been out there for a full week. But, you know, more people came to the Dangerous Nutter video than have done the Are People Evil. So the supplemental content didn't get as many views. It's only a day old. But the supplemental content didn't get as many views as the variety content, the slightly different content. So I'm a bit confused. It's your channel too. You're here in chat. You know, you're telling me. So, and the main thing I can see is by the view counts, isn't it? So I'm not just going to be beholden to the view counts. You're right, little ducking. Do you want to come in? Or is your mommy back? I'm not just going to be beholden to the view counts. I also want to do, you know, sometimes what I feel is important or appropriate. That's how I got onto Nicola Bulley. You know, I wasn't looking for views. I didn't know it was going to get a lot of views. I was doing other stuff that I thought was more popular. And then I did like this little cheeky Nicola Bulley video about the body language analysis, and it kind of kicked off. So Lost Windows says you'll watch it as long as I'm presenting. The thing is, not everyone will. We've picked up, say, 25,000 viewers on one of these videos. 50,000, like this is a good example. 50,000 have tuned in to see me do Emma White body language analysis. So I'm hoping today's video is going to get a few as well. You know, I'm hoping it's going to get a few as well. But that's a month ago. The Nicola Bulley case isn't as raw now. People have moved on a little bit. If only 10% of them stick with the channel, I'm lucky and I'm grateful. So 5,000, say, stick with the channel. 50,000, 5,000. Is that 10? Yeah, that's 10%. So I'm hoping that a big influx of ideas and views, you know, oh, what's he doing here? Who's this new guy? And you maybe get 10% to stick on. Maybe it was a bit complicated. That's a good point, Scorpio Nads. I found it complicated too. I left it after it got too complicated, didn't I? After June, there'll be very little Nicola Bulley people like famous, but most of us chuffers like to mix up the format. Interesting, yeah. I want to get more guests on. That's a good idea. Laura, crime analyst. That's a good idea. To the Flower of Love. But yeah, so I'm a bit confused. I don't know what the right answer is here. I'm hoping that we're building a snowball, and okay, I'll get a lot of eyes on sometimes. They're not all going to come back for every video. That's fine. But we build that snowball, we get about 5 or 10% stay with us. 5,000, nearly 6,000 subs now. So if you're watching, please sub. That's going up nicely. Really grateful and happy with that. Just want to make sure I covered the basis of what you want to see. What the hen, there's no right answer. I think that you're right there. Acoustic gymnastics, where's my crack? So if you've got any ideas, if you've got any thoughts, if you think I'm doing the right or wrong thing, there is one other thing I'll draw to your attention, is this video yesterday, Are People Evil? That video lost me subscribers. Like -3 subscribers on that one. I've never done a video before where I've lost subscribers. So I thought, have I said something wrong in that? Have I, offended people? I don't remember doing anything like that. But I'd like to know if I had, So, it's a funny one. Hopefully today we're going back to what we know. Hopefully today we're going back to what makes people happy. But I can't always cover Emma White, and I do want to make sure I make interesting content with value. The value proposition here is that, okay, I've been talking now for nearly half an hour, haven't I? So, I will accept that. I can go on a bit. Oh, what have I clicked there? Yeah, okay. Hopefully we're still streaming because I clicked off it by mistake. Yeah, I'm still streaming, am I? Yeah. Clicked off it by mistake. Yeah, I think I'm still streaming. Let's get 100 likes. Yeah, if you give me 100 likes today, actually, I keep forgetting to say that. If you give me 100 likes today, I'll give £10 to charity. How about that? It's Friday. Give me 100 likes today. Oh, we've already got 100 likes. Look at that. Well, there we go. £10 to charity in the can. Well, that doesn't help. Give me 200 likes and I'll give 20. Get me 200 likes and I'll give 20. Looking for 200 likes today, I'll give £20 to charity. How about that? So, yeah, in the long term, I want to make sure that we offer value. I want to make sure that when you turn up here, it's for free. We will include memberships in the future. We are going to start memberships and create content with extra value and extra content production value, But yeah, if there's anything that I'm doing right or wrong, make sure to tell me. Let's do this, you're right, let's do this, let's get into it. The idea is that I create some value. You come here, you think, well, this has been good. That was worth it. And I do my end of the bargain, my work, do a bit of research, maybe sometimes bring something different or focus on what you're interested in, bring some value. I'm mainly a body language analyst, I guess, in terms of the true crime stuff. I'm less digging around for clues and getting emails and doing all that. More likely, if you've done an interview, I'll rip into you. All the likes have popped up then, 169, 172 now. So yeah, 200 likes, I'll give £20 to charity today. I think that's a fair proposition. And yeah, I hope that we create media with value. Like, this is the whole thing on the internet, It's a bit of a, you're searching around in the dark sometimes trying to make sure you feel your way properly. I create media with value. You like that, you enjoy it. You find there's some value here. You support me if you want financially through the tippies. I'm really grateful for that. We move towards a more stable, more sustainable system. Talking about sponsorship as well. My new friend in chat that's sent me that. I did look at the email. Haven't called you yet. Got to sort that out. I think we might do a Shannon Matthews special episode with your sponsorship as a bit of a thing. Might do one day. I might do the boxing matches. How about Scott? I could do a boxing match, except I'm worried if I get my jaw broken and lose my teeth, that's like a permanent disfigurement. But yeah, quite happy to do a boxing match. But yeah, so we're 196 likes now. So only 4 more likes and that charity money is guaranteed. We might even push it up higher. You never know. 500 viewers. I think we're going well. I think we're looking ready to kick off now. So I've made my bit clear. I made my statement clear at the start, hopefully, about that value proposition. Things will crystallise into a more clear value proposition as well when we start doing memberships. But at the moment, I hope I'm doing good work. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope we build and grow. I was disappointed yesterday to see something that I thought was a positive, interesting content that supports the kind of content we're doing, that everyone can take some value in, something to learn, something to think about, something to talk about, and maybe something entertaining. But it lost me 3 subscribers, so if you know what I'm doing wrong, let me know. 200. We're over 200 likes. Let's give the money to charity now. Does anyone have a problem with UNICEF? We did it before, but someone had a problem with it. I will absolutely take any charity that you think is better and support them. The good thing about UNICEF is I can do it through the internet without... I can do it on PayPal. That's good thing about UNICEF. So if anyone's got a problem with UNICEF, tell me now. Otherwise, UNICEF goes to children. That's good for me, like children. Mind UK doesn't do PayPal, I don't think, but let's have a look. And UNICEF is global as well, but not UNICEF, says K9. Okay, I'll try Mind. You know, I'll listen to you. Make a donation. I don't think it does PayPal, but let's try. £20, not monthly, just immediately. Make a donation today. Single donation, £20. Donate using PayPal. I'm going to just take this out. You won't see this now because I don't want you showing you my PayPal while I, go on my PayPal, obviously. So, this is £20. Is it my own money? Yeah. And is it a registration fee? No. Gift aid it? Yes. In memory of someone? No. No, I don't need to tell you anything. Just continue. My details. So I just got to quickly put in my details. Let's hope this works as well, because sometimes it asks you for a card even though it's PayPal, and I find that a problem. While I'm doing this, while I'm donating to charity, please be patient. I'm really grateful for your likes. So how about a cat one in Omar? I'm fairly new to your channel. Thank you. And I can't please all the people all the time, you're right. While I'm just typing this in as well, let's have a quick chat, housekeeping, before we get started about Eddie's Vinyl Break, because big up to Eddie's Vinyl Break. I've been listening to their videos and enjoying them since they gave me that shout out. And people have been worried. Sorry, I'm trying to use my brain. People have been worried about... he took down the videos about Nicola Bulley. And I watched this video yesterday when Eddie said that he was in contact with someone that he believes to be a relative.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish and then whoosh.
Is it going to read it out?
April sent titties. You're funny F. Really are people evil? Maybe some neurodivergent people were watching. My son is ND and there is absolutely no correlation between ND and being evil. Anyway, you are different, read the body language stuff, it's interesting. Go with your gut though, white smiling face, black heart. Super Kafaros 5 hugs.
I've got a problem donating to Mind. When I press PayPal, it's not going through. It's bringing up the window and then it's closing it immediately. So I'm having a problem there. I'm going to open up PayPal as well in a separate window. I don't want to let this stall the show, but thank you very much for the tippies there. Thank you very much for the tippies. Some people are neurodivergent, but it doesn't make them evil. And there's no correlation between being neurodivergent and evil. No, I didn't think so. I thought because yesterday we were looking at some of the concepts, log in. Oh, it wants me to receive a text. Right, this is annoying me now. I don't have my phone on me. I'm just going to quickly try and do it on UNICEF. I know people don't like it, but it is giving money to charity. And if I can do it quickly, then I'm happy that we've done it quickly. Because it might already have my details. Come on. So yeah, Eddie took his videos down and said that I can't do two things at once. I'm awful at this. I'm sorry. 9. I'm getting my postcode wrong as well now. I just want to... I don't want to say something and then not do it. Continue to payment. I want it to be done. Official. Log into PayPal. Log in. Please just log in. Don't ask me for a phone number. PayPal balance, yeah, complete. I mean, I know that you don't like UNICEF, some of you, but what for me, the benefit of that is that it's quick and easy, and I've done it, yeah? So £20 to UNICEF. Between us, we'll find a different charity if you don't like UNICEF. We'll do it later as well if we want to do it again. Like, let's say if you hit 400 likes now, I'll give another £20. Because 400's out of the blue, like, you're not going to get that. But, you know, we'll find a way together to find whichever charity is the right one for our stream. But at least, like, someone, some church, somewhere, that's going to do some good, hopefully, for some children. So, thank you very much for the likes. I'm going to get on with the stream, hopefully. I will do that little bit of housework that I couldn't get out of my brain. Got some super chats. What do you make of Paul asking, we left the house? Yeah, we covered that in the Paul Ansell red flags. We left the house. It was a huge red flag. Who is we? Who are you there with? I talked about how he's got this special golden hour when Nikki goes to take the kids to school, and during that golden hour, you know, if you're going to run an affair, that's the time you do it, because you've got that gold. She's busy. You've got an hour. So I wondered whether there was anyone else in the house at that time because of that, whether Nicola had interrupted them in some way. We're going to come to something else about the car keys today as well. Got a new piece of information that I want to put forward, an idea that I want to put forward about the car keys. Sue says she accidentally unsubscribed yesterday. Okay, don't worry. Maybe that was you resubscribed. Maybe it was one of them was you. There, I lost 3 subs yesterday on that video specifically, like I said. So I don't know why or how, but I want to try and do my best. That's all. We're going to do the body language. Emma White. We're going to absolutely get to that now. The final piece of housekeeping was Eddie's vinyl break. People have been asking me. No, I haven't got a cease and desist letter. I have not. Has Eddie's vinyl break been talking to a member of Nicola Bulley's family? He said that he thought he had on the internet. Like, Eddie's been really nice to me. He said nice things about my channel. He's been positive about me on the internet. So I reciprocate that. I give back positivity. But you've got to understand, I've never met Eddie. I've watched a few of his videos on the internet. I don't know him. And I'm not like, you know, people are asking me a lot about Eddie. I don't know. I just don't know. Do I trust him? Me personally? I'm not the sort of person. Eddie's going to find this hard to hear, but I think he's going to understand what I'm saying. I don't just listen to someone on the internet and go, all right, yeah, they're my favourite person there and they can come in my house. I trust them now. I don't know anything about him. So when he says that he's in contact with this person behind the scenes who reports to be one of Nicola Bulley's family members, but he can't tell us exactly who it is, we get into all that world, and I know he's going to understand this. I know he's protecting his sources or whatever, and I'm not saying anything negative. I like Eddie, remember, but you've got to bear in mind that I have to put him in the same ballpark, not the same. I have to put this information in the same box as the Jizzy Crew Crime stuff, because she said she had a Paul Ansell friend sending her information. She wouldn't tell us who it was. I've got to write it off. I don't know. Like, when he's telling me he's got these emails coming in that I'm not seeing and I'm not party to, I've got to write it off. I don't know. Like, I can't say, oh, that's a fact, that's guaranteed. Like, you know, 100%, million percent. I don't know, do I? So, and also, even if I was getting emails, if I was Eddie and I was getting those emails, I wouldn't be swift to believe them, because there are people here with vested interests at play. So I wouldn't be swift to believe them. And if anyone asked me to take my content down, I would simply say no. And if they sent me a cease and desist, I would go to my solicitor and say, this cease and desist has, well, I wouldn't need to, I'd already know the answer. This cease and desist has arrived. Can I fight it in court? And the obvious answer would be yes. Like, I'm not doing anything that can be criminally or civil liability. I'm not in the ballpark of slander and libel. Even with the work meeting, even if I said I think Emma Bulley, even if I said I think Emma was involved in the murder, it's not libel, it's not slander. You'd have to prove that I was doing damage to your business. And I don't think I am. You know, I don't think people who book their holidays in Lancashire or book their weddings at the Marsh Farm Hall give a shit about what I say on the internet. And I don't think a judge would either. I think a judge would just think it's ridiculous to say that someone with a YouTube channel is in the realms of slander or libel in this way, especially with a big public case like this. And then on top of that, the other aspect is defamation. You know, you could come at me privately for a defamation suit, and if they did that, then that would be the best thing in the world for my channel, because I'd make loads of videos about it, and I'd make a big stink about it, and I'd get a lawyer, and you'd have videos from me outside the courtroom. And even if we lost, it's a win, because the amount of information that I would pump out about it would mean big hoo-ha on my channel, and we'd always be talking about it always be talking about the stuff they tried to gag, wouldn't we? And then, you know, Jenny says get on with it. I appreciate that, Jenny, yeah. Sorry. I do appreciate that. So yeah, so I'm with Eddie. I side with him on lots of things. I'm grateful for him for being positive about my content. I think we have similar views on what may or may not have happened, you know. But beyond that, I don't know what emails he's getting. I haven't been getting any, and I'm not taking any of my videos down so they can all stuff it. I thought that was a strange move of his as well. A strange move, I'll just say that. I don't know what anyone's plans are for their channels in the future. I just thought it was a strange move. Okay. Emma White, what do you want first? What do you want first? Do you want this one here, which I think is slightly later, isn't it? Developing story from this morning. Or do you want this one here? I think this one's slightly earlier. This is before, as Peter Folding was getting involved. Or it might even be on the same day. This might be later in the day on the same day. I don't know. So which one do you want first? Do you want the This Morning Great Britain? Or do you want the other one we found off the TikTok? I'll do it as a quick poll. A quick poll. Which video first? Don't worry about my spelling of video. Morning or TikTok? Ask your community. And I do apologise for everyone that's like, oh, he's not even talking about it yet. But you do have to leave some time for the room to fill up. You know, people do gather and join. The numbers are still going up. And I did my little bit of housekeeping, and when you watch it as a video you can skip it. So I do apologise. I understand that I'm a bit of a chuffer. That's why I'm super chuffer, isn't it? So when we get going, we get going. A lot of votes coming in for this morning. I like it. I'm happy with it as a concept. You don't need lots of time to vote on that poll, do you? Don't need lots of time, you know. Excuse me 1 second, I just heard a blood curtain. Oh, not kid, I heard a blood curtain scream. No one outside yelling. That was a weird one. I have to check. You know, I have to check on my neighbours. I heard someone go, yeah, like yelling, like bad one. They want the This Morning one, okay. And if they're out there yelling, I'll have to go and help him. But there's a lot of other people that live around here, and I'm assuming everything's all right. Maybe they just lost their game of Dark Souls or something. So she looks like a Bo Selector character. Good call with the jaw. Do you know David Merrion got done for blackface for doing Craig David as they said he was doing blackface for doing Scary Spice, which is a bit weird. It might be a bit weird, but yeah, a bit weird. We are at 290 likes, 600 viewers, so 400 likes. I give another £20 to charity, and let's get on with it. Right? Yeah, we are. You're right. Thanks, Sue, for the support. I take rough with the smooth. I don't take if someone says something mean in chat. I don't go, oh, I need to feel bad. And if someone says something positive, I don't go, yes, I'm the big best chuffer. Take rough with the smooth, but I do appreciate people are here to watch me talk. So can I get a rewind? Here we go. This is This Morning. So this is how it was presented to us on This Morning. Good Morning Britain. Sorry, I got that wrong. They'll probably copyright me.
At school and then seemingly vanished. Police have...
Nicola Bulley disappeared while walking her dog.
This annoys me. Nicola Bulley disappeared while walking a dog, says Kate Garraway to start with. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. You've got that wrong. Why is the mainstream media reporting that like it's a fact? Or like not all of a sudden? They always did, didn't they? This is something else I don't understand as well. Why have you got that video screen of St. Paul's Cathedral behind you like you're important? Like you're in a studio and you've got a picture. Why is having London behind you make you more important? I don't know, but it does. Yeah, so it's interesting to me that the media report this information and give everyone these ideas, but they're not right. They're not factually like they found her phone. The facts are they found her phone on the dog walk. No one ever factually could photographically evidence show Nicola. There was somebody who said they saw her. Well, they said they saw her because they recognised the dog, and then later they changed it. And then, it's people have gone to the electric chair on evidence that was, they say they saw them, and it turned out DNA evidence proved them wrong, or camera evidence proved them wrong. So people get things fucked up. I don't know why we're reporting that as if it's the facts.
St Michael's en Wye in Lancashire.
The 45-year-old mortgage advisor dropped her children off at school and then seemingly vanished.
Did she though? Did she? Did she though?
Police have pieced together a timeline of her last known movements just before.
So police did this timeline. They tell us. We're going to be going through this in the future. Someone suggested that we do it, and I think it's a really good idea, is go through the police videos, you know, the police press conferences, and timeline was suggested today. I think it's interesting. Up Stratford-upon-Avon, someone says, a lot of people know that I live in Stratford-upon-Avon. I'm not trying to promote where I live on the internet because, you know, I don't want nutters turning up at my house. But and if you did, you'd get, you know, sent away, I'm afraid. But it's a fact that's out there. I used to be a hairdresser. I had a business in the town. So, but please bear in mind, it does scare me a little when you stay so close to. But if you live in Stratford as well, you know, big ups. Anyway, yeah, I think this timeline is a problem, and we need to address the timeline. I'll let it roll now, but you know, we need to do a full video on how this got so fucked up.
9 in the morning, Nicola is believed to have walked along the path by the river.
See, who's saying this? It's being reported on the telly with your graphics now. It's not the police saying it anymore, it's the telly. So at 8:43, she walks along that path, does she? Is that mobile phone evidence? Did someone see her? We've missed the school bit off completely. We're starting from here.
For dropping her daughters at school. At approximately 9:10, she is spotted.
So 8:40, and we've got the Sky News one, the 50-minute walk around to have a look at as well, haven't we? But it takes her apparently 20 minutes to walk up there, and then she's seen, but we don't. That to me is not facts either. And if it was you, K9 says she got chased by a duck in Stratford. It might have been a swan. They don't worry, they don't bite. People, I go and feed the swans, and I put my fingers out, and they chew my fingers, and people are like, oh my god, it's biting you. It's not got any teeth, it's a duck.
Spotted on the upper field walking her Springer Spaniel Willow. And then at 9:35, her mobile phone and Willow are found on a bench by the river.
Okay, I don't know what these 2 yellow dots are for, because the phone was found over here by the river, but that second yellow dot is the caravan park, is Penny's caravan park. I don't know what that's got to do with it, but they haven't tracked the actual route that she's supposed to have walked back with the phone. It's a very strange little map they've put up here. And I understand, I really must say, I really understand the people who are suspect of Rowan Water. I think more investigation does need to be done there, but coming back to it another time maybe. I saw offline a video, maybe it was Curtis Media did it. Someone went on to Rowan Water, and immediately there was a caretaker turned up immediately to say, what are you doing on here? Can you chuff off? It's all locked up. Please go away. It's not open until the summer. So I got the feeling that it's less likely people are popping out through there. I just get the feeling. I think it might feel like she might have disappeared off there. But if anyone disappeared off there, I would say the red herring person did, the Emma person did. You know, in my mind, Emma walked this route. Emma left the dog and the phone there. And Emma just disappeared off into nowhere by either changing into her clothes so she looked like a fisherman and running off this way, or being picked up over at this end by Paul. You know, whatever. Emma was the one that left all the decoys, and then Paul picked her up, and then they're off, you know, away. Whee! And that's why she appeared to disappear from thin air. Perfect crime. She appears to disappear from this area. Everyone looks in this area. Nobody dusts your house for fingerprints. Nobody finds the, you know, the blood spatter in your bathrooms. So, you know, I find this really troubling. Why is this on the news like this? Because it's not what we know, is it? They call it What We Know. Nicola Bulley, What We Know. I mean, that's like propaganda in a way. What we know, what we think we know, what we don't really know, what we might know, what we assume. And people might say, oh, but you're on the internet, Scotty Hottie, making conjecture and assumption as well. You know, welcome to the mainstream media.
Mobile phone and Willow are found on a bench by the river.
Well, we're now joined by a friend of Nicola's, Emma White, who's hoping to raise awareness.
To raise money, awareness. Look at her smile. Look at her smile. This is 8:30 in the morning. You assume that she's done something special today, like got the kids done off to school early or some shit like that. She's running this campaign. It's a big day for her. She's got the yellow t-shirt. We've seen some of these other days where she's wearing the yellow t-shirt on the interviews. I assume this is the first interview of the day, because this morning start pretty early, don't they? Good Morning Britain. They get up early. So they've said to you, you're going to be on our television show. Get up early, you fucker. They've got their big posh camera down there, and I know what this is like. I've worked on shoots. You are not going to be fucking around at the bottom of this thing at 8:30 in the morning on a random. Like, you've got that set up early. You've got all your plans in place. You're doing your I'm big ITV, get out of my way television show. You've got Emma, you've corralled her. You know, please stand here and wait here, Emma. And you've done this all, you know, hours early. You've probably been there since 6 in the morning. Like, Emma's got up early for this. It's a big day. Yeah, a big day. On top of that, she's on the telly. And she's not just on the telly. She's on with Kate Garraway on Good Morning Britain. This is big. It's big for anyone. Like, if you're on there being interviewed about your fucking... Sorry, swearing. If you're in there being interviewed about your recent win in the World Marbles Championship, you know, it's big news. You're on the Good Morning Britain. When me and my mate made a film about Eddie Strongman, the world's strongest man, trying to be the world's strongest man, I sent out a few feelers to a few media people. Of course, my local newspaper got right back on it. Can you send us a photo? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the local newspaper, local lads make film about strongman. Contacting Good Morning Britain, Eddie Hall has been on Good Morning Britain. His agent got him on. Us making a little film about him before he got famous, not big enough. Not on there. Not news. This is big news. It's Emma's big day. You know, you've got to bear that in mind. So I will say that there could be an element of, like, you know, excitement involved. Couldn't there, in a normal circumstance? Lost Windows, do I hear about your winning the World Marbles Championship? No, I didn't. The Bishop says they were wanting to beat Bill Turnbull. Lovely fellow, wasn't he? Seemed like, yeah. I do appreciate this is potentially your big day, right? I wonder, we've seen a lot of these interviews with Emma with her hair up, tied back. It's here, we see it down. In this other interview here, it's tied up, tied back. Isn't it? This other interview. A lot of the other interviews, it's tied up, tied back. Here, it's down almost. Is that a mistake? Or did she want to appear more glamorous for the main big telly? They've been trying to hide the hair away because obviously you don't want it to look like she could look like Nicola. You know, you don't want your decoy to be seen to be a decoy. That hairline, those cheekbones, those ears, you know, you don't want it to be seen to be a decoy. The GoFundMe page is still up. I imagine it is, isn't it? You know, dirty, disgusting chuffers that they are. Yeah, so she's done her makeup. She looks very clear-skinned. Everyone goes on about this heavy Emma eye makeup, which I don't know if she always wears it. It's interesting. Do you know if she always wears that eye makeup, or is it a new feature for these news reports so that she can look dramatically different to how she looked the day when she was the decoy? I don't know. Big heavy eye makeup, lots of foundation, hair down. I'm thinking she's trying to look good for the news, the main news, the big news. She's on with Kate Garraway, and she's excited. She's got a smile. Like, it almost looks like, you know, we're here to see this lady because she's got something exciting and fun to share with us on the news, doesn't it? It doesn't look like her friend is missing and presumed dead. And at this point, they didn't presume her dead, bear in mind. They was hoping to find her, or maybe she'd done a suicide or whatever, but they then told the police that she was, like, not all there, and, like, we're to assume she knew that she was presumed. You know, we were to presume that. Is her hair a mess? Has she been shagging? Is that what's been happening? Big day before the big interview. They love the excitement of getting away with it. They've obviously met up to confirm their stories. Have they been shagging? And the Duper's Delight there in chat, good spot. She hasn't actually said anything yet. Duper's Delight usually happens when a lie is presented and it's eaten up, and then you get a smile from it because you've done your duping, you're happy about it. But she hasn't actually said anything yet. Let's get her talking.
Their appeal for people to come forward.
Obviously, she knows that she's on the telly now, and so she moderates that expression and tries to hide the smile, and we see the dimple. We see the dimple. Emma's, now that I've seen her enough, I recognise that. The dimple occurs when she's smiling, but she's trying to hide it.
Emma, I know you've been a friend of Nicola's for a long time, since your children were small. They go to the same school. Agonising for you and the family. What are you trying to do?
While she's saying this, agonising for you and the family, Nicola... Sorry, we're so alike, aren't we? We're so alike. People mistake us. People think I'm like Nicola. I'm just like Nicola. You've known her for so long, since your children are little. How old are your children? Well, they're still little. Anyway, she purses her lips here. Can't see because I've got a beard. She's pursing her lips, she's squashing them in. This happens when people have got something they want to say and they're retaining that, they're holding it in. happens when people might have bad thoughts, things they like. I've seen this in context. I've seen it in a lot of murder investigation interviews where someone might say, like, you know, did you do the murder? And they might go, like, they don't want to say yes, I did the murder, and they're thinking about things that cause them psychological like problems, you know, like bad things. Oh, I don't like that. And they purse the lips, squash the lips together. So it's something you've got on your mind that you don't want to say, and it's something that's bad that like gives you, you know, problem. Like if you're thinking, yes, I did the murder, like it's gruesome, and you purse your lips. Interesting as well that someone's going to come walking across the bridge. This bridge is a public thoroughfare. They have decided to do the interview there, and we're going to see some aspects of that play out a little bit, but let's see what she says.
Today to help find Nicola.
Like you've just alluded to, Steph, 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me. We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days. So we are out staying force. The community's come together once again. We've got banners printed, placards of Nikki. We've got big wavy men. So our thought process
big wavy
is
men and an edit here.
Every avenue, the community's come together. The police.
Obviously, she's speaking live, but they put this picture over her for some reason.
Everybody's come trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw. So
we'll go back and we'll take it bit by bit.
Nicola.
Who are these people? Nobody knows.
Like
It's not really important. I don't think they're murderers or anything. But as they cross here and move through, they're in her eye shot, I believe. You know that she knows, like, you're aware that someone's just walked over your shoulder. So I think that distracts her. And I think part of Emma's psyche is this narcissism. We've just been discussing it a lot. Are they the fishermen, Richard? Interesting conversation. I wondered, I'll just say this out loud because you put it in chat now. Fishermen they were there the day before. They were spotted the day before, not on the day. So it could be an easy red herring. They're not on there on the day, the end. Or there's a possibility, other end of the spectrum, that those fishermen could be Nikki and Paul in disguise. Got to do the cat now. Why do I have to do this? Could be Nicola Bulley in disguise, like, so it could be completely innocent, just two people out the day before, you know, it's just some information that's been bandied around and people have got it in their head. Or it could be something really serious, like Nicola and Paul are in disguise, Emma and Paul are in disguise, they're there the day before, sussing it out, and their setup, maybe, is to, she goes wandering around, people see that she's the decoy, you know, and then to make her escape and invisible, she puts on a big fishing coat and she walks off and she's a fisherman. And all of a sudden she's a fisherman. You know, it could be anything, couldn't it? But without any... have you got a video of her in a bobble hat? I can send it if you like. That's interesting, Catherine. I have not got a video of her in a bobble hat. I will potentially solicit things like that, truebinaural@outlook.com. But I don't look at the email a lot. And do you know what? Like, I am interested in actual factual evidence, but I'm not interested in having my inbox flooded by loads of conjecture because I'm not a detective. You know, when things come out on the telly like this, like I've said before, I'm the person that you can come to. Unlike the others, and I'm not trying to diss the others, but I didn't come into this to be a true crimer. I'm a YouTuber. I've got experience in psychology and body language and other stuff. I used to have a body language channel that was quite successful. Nobody knew it was me. So that's my bit into this, I think. And I think I want to do what I'm good at. So if you've got things that I can do that sort of stuff on, yeah, I'll take a look. But I'm a bit, you know, I'm not going to have a big poster board with all the different pins on it and all the wires. What was I saying and where was I at? Yeah, Emma is
to help find
narcissistic.
Nicola.
Like you've just alluded to, Steph, 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
So there's a moment there, those people have walked off over her shoulder, and in the moment here, where she's supposed to be looking into camera and delivering her lines, nice face. If we get any good screenshots, I'll use them as a better thumbnail today. We're supposed, but she sees someone there.
Believe me.
There's a lot of blinking and almost like a shake of the head and a look up. Like she's shaking her head and looking up and away. Now, you could neurolinguistic programming some people still, NLP eyes, some people like this still, others don't. So, you've got to be aware that other people find, like, some people have been this off now in body language circles. Some people still stick to it. Remembered visual, you could say. She's thinking about something she saw and remembered. I'm not saying that's what she's doing here. I think what she's doing here is she's seeing these other people coming who are about to walk past, and she's angry because this is Emma's big moment. Emma's on the main telly, and not only are these people not stopping and gawking and going, oh, Emma, are you on the big telly? Have you got the big cameras with you? Not only are they not impressed, don't give a shit, but they're walked through. And now they're on the telly behind me and they're annoying me because how dare they walk over this? Are they stupid? Are they stupid? Couldn't they see to walk around? You had to get in my shot. So I think she's angered by that. You can see the condescension, the sneer starting on her cheeks. The moment she's like, looking off over there. So I think that part of this problem with this first part of this thing that she says, it's at the start of the day. It's early. She might have had a coffee. She hasn't got her words all sorted yet. She stutters and messes about with, stutters throughout the course of the day. She says it over and over again to 4 or 5 different media outlets. She gets her script in order and she gets better at it. So there are pros and cons. You can see more and read in more when she's messing it up, but she's messing it up for different reasons. There's people around, there's cars, she's nervous, she's on the big telly. So this constant blinking, this stuttering of the words, to me it could indicate guilt. But here, I've got to be fair, it indicates a general confusion because we're out on the street and I'm angry at other people getting in the way of my interview. That's what it indicates first. What does Kate say again that she says she alludes to?
Since your children were small, they go to the same school, agonising for you and the family. What are you trying to do today to help?
It's interesting when Kate says agonising for you and the family. We get big nods from Emma. Pursing of the lips. Like she says Emma first, it's agonising for you and the family. It's like an afterthought. But like, she's here representing the family, isn't she? Like, it should be agonising for the family and you. Less agonising for you, I suppose, since you killed her.
You and the family. What are you trying?
And there's a lick of the lips and a big purse of the lips and a big close of the eyes there. And I think the dimples again, I think when she says it's agonising for you and the family, that's your duper's delight. That's your classic duper's delight there. That's almost laughing at Kate for believing this bullshit. We're going to start this interview on the premise that Nicola disappeared from the dog walk and you think it's an agony for me. Ha! You idiots. How smart I am. Classic. No tears from any of them. Yeah, Bonnie, you're right. We forget this now some weeks later, don't we? Because we become desensitized to it. But this is still the moment where if you love the person that you're talking about, it would be impossible to talk about them without breaking down in some way. And if you're on this process at this time, you are frantic, and there is none.
To do today to help find Nicola?
Like you've just alluded to, Seth, 7 days on, and it's...
So, like you just alluded to, Seth, 7 days on. That's her first mistake. Seth, 7 days on. So, Seth, 7 days on. Seth. I don't know if it's just a simple slur of the words. Don't know exactly what it... Again, I find it difficult because there's other reasons to be distracted. But Seth, it's almost a strange... Like, it doesn't... It's not a... it's not like I slipped and said, like, scissors. Seth. It's not even a word I can think to.
Such a tough milestone.
Such. Right, so touch came in. So some sensation of her... Like, when she blinks here as well, it might be the heavy eye makeup. You see how one eye goes and the other doesn't? Like, one eye is blinking and the other's not. This is cognitive... like, processing error. Too much information... Like, error. Yeah? So she stutters her words and she says touch.
Like you've just alluded to, Seth, 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone. She wants to say such a tough milestone. She says touch, a soft milestone. So it's interesting here that, for me, we're talking about tactile, we're talking about being involved, we're talking about touch. I'm not making this up. This isn't my spirit guide. This is what she said. By mistake, touch. Touch. Interesting. And 7 days on, she's doing the milestone thing again. What did Kate allude to? You see, Kate didn't allude to anything.
Kate said, this must be horrible for you, this must be difficult. She didn't allude to murder. She didn't allude to a suicide. So what is she alluding to? Why have you said that? Kate didn't allude to anything. It's almost, again, like putting ideas in our minds. You know, what Kate said was this. No, she didn't. I just listened to her. She didn't allude to anything. What are you alluding to by saying that she alluded to it? Do you know what I mean? It's like circles within circles. And she has got that gurn on, hasn't she? We've had people in chat before tell me that they think she simply has an underbite. This is also a feature of drug use. I'm not saying that she's on cocaine at this moment, but it is a feature of drug use. It might be one of the reasons that, you know, if you've got an underbite, you can be attractive, don't get me wrong, but it might be that Emma has always felt herself to be a bit of a gurning gumper and a bit of a stomper gumper, a bit of a, you know, farm girl stomper gumper, and instead she'd rather be a pretty princess. And then Nicola turns up, I've said this before, from the south, pretty princess, wooing all the men. She's off with this Paul, but the other men want her as well, and she does this lovely mortgage advisor job. She doesn't have to get her hands dirty. You know, I can see where the jealousy. I've mentioned single white. I was the person. I'm the one. I'm big in my own trumpet here, but you know, I was the person on the internet that said single white female vibes, hand that rocks the cradle vibes. You know, all that. You remember, don't you? So, this is where I get that from. You know, I get that in a way from these underbite moments. It is interesting that her hair's blowing around. I'm intrigued by that, whether she decided that as a choice, whether she didn't tie it up properly.
Milestone today, believe me.
Believe me, she says. Oh my God, that's awful.
7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
Such a tough milestone today, obviously with the stutter and the mistake, while she's looking over at people approaching, so there is that. But it's such a tough milestone today, 7 days on. I personally don't know why it would be such a tough milestone.
I couldn't be happier.
Helen McCarthy sent tippies. Gutted I didn't know you were doing a live and only just watching.
You know,
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
You're right, Helen. You're right. You're right. I'm doing it again. I should be tweeting. I should be trying to get people here. You know, I should be getting them in. That's the wrong picture. I should be tweeting this. You're right, Helen. You're right. Thank you for the huggies, for the tippies. Huggies back. I've chosen the wrong picture again. Give me. Look, I'm good at this. I'm an internet aficionado. There's Emma. And today what we're doing, this is us. So let me get a YouTube for us. I'll tweet it and let them know your channel. And this.
Someone once
said
that
and mute that, you chuffer, and then tweet it. You're right. I should be tweeting this. I don't know why a week is such an important milestone. You tell me if I'm wrong in chat. You know, let me know. Live with more Emma White. I'll put unseen interviews. I'll just put that. Yeah. Put live now. And then just tweet that so people can see it and it's out there. Good point. I put unseen because I haven't seen them, but they're not unseen. That's clickbait, but you've got to try. Super Chuffer at Informal Films if you want me on Twitter there. Thank you for the tippies. That's a really good point. I don't know if a week is an important milestone. Can you do the thing on YouTube that says what time you'll be live? I don't really know every day. Maria, as we get regular, you know, as I'm here regular, after about 6 months, I'll say, you know what? I'm here on these days at this time. But at the moment, I'm just trying to and experimenting. So I don't know exactly when I'll be live. But before I go live, I set up the stream. Hopefully it'll be telling you. With Thus, for example, it'll tell you a day in advance at least. But with some of the others, it's a bit more freeform. So I do apologise. But generally, I'm on at these sort of times. You have to look out for it. Or do your YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Yeah, is a milestone. Is a week a big milestone? If you killed someone and the body was hadn't been found in a week, that would be an important milestone. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's an important milestone for something like DNA evidence. DNA from skin-to-skin contact lasts for up to 2 days. They can be swabbed up to 7 days after the incident. This is how this shit works. I'm not a detective, yeah, but she said it. This has happened to us before. We talked about the milestone thing before. I've got that window open now of me talking. That one can go. This happened before, didn't it, though? This happened before, the milestone, and we didn't really dig it out and pick it out. We're up to 388 likes, so we're not far off another £20 to charity. If you want to send in, obviously that's coming out of my money, so I require more tippies now to give to charity. But thank you, no, I really appreciate it. I'd rather end the week on a bang, and I get a little bit coming in from this stuff now. I'm putting it into the kitty so we can make more content. I also want to make sure that we give a little back to the wider world. So if you can get those 400 likes, there we go, bang, 400 likes and under 20 for the charity. That'll happen at the end of the episode. Make sure to remind me. I think I found something here that other people haven't suggested again. So she refers to it as a milestone. You helped me in chat there. You helped me in chat. Who was it? I should shout you out. It was Laura Bulley. I apologise if I read your name wrong, but Laura Bulley said achievement of some kind. No, it wasn't just you, was it, Laura? There was somebody else who said if you've done a murder, it'd be a milestone. Say if it was you. There's so many in chat now. Say if it was you again. I want to give you your flowers for that. I'm trying to scroll back and read it, but absolutely bang on. Look, it turns out that it is a milestone if you've done a murder, and this is the sort of stuff you'd be looking at. Gathering forensic evidence is probably something you would have looked at and thought about. DNA from fingers, this is a bit rude. I'm glad that my face is not covering it. DNA from fingers up your chuffer. This is what it's saying. I'm not trying to be rude, but DNA from fingers up your chuffer up to 48 hours. DNA from a wanger, 72 hours. DNA from skin to skin contact, like you've been punching someone, 2 days. The relevant area can be swabbed up to 7 days after the incident. So after a week, if they've not bathed or showered, up to 7 days after a week. And then here's other things, and it's saying, up your bum and up your chuffer for some of these. So let's not ruin the episode with YouTube thinking it's unmonetizable. But can I do reverse speech or subconscious revealed? I can't reverse it instantly on the internet. I don't have like a program that reverses it off the top of my head here, but I don't know if it reveals anything. But Moon's a balloon. I can look into it, and thank you for the £2. But I'll do it this way today because this is the way I know what I'm doing. But I'll look into it, I certainly will. And thank you for the super chat there. Super chats go on top of the chat and everyone gets to see them, and coffee.coms do the words on the screen, and everyone gets to see that. So I guess if you do your basic investigation into forensic stuff, and I'm just doing the basic there, I'm just asking Google, which is what they would do, but they wouldn't do it on their phones and on their computers because they'd be aware the police might check it, so they'd do it on somebody else's device maybe. But it would say 7 days is a big milestone for DNA evidence. Wow. I think even if that's all we do today, and it's not, we're going to carry on. Obviously, we've got 2 interviews to get through. But even if that's all we do today, we've unlocked another little puzzle that everyone has had there in plain sight, in front of them in plain sight. And I love the way we do this. From the day one when we're doing this, I need to get an editor onto my Paul Ansell stuff. I'm going to be inquiring about it this coming next week. Like I said to you, because I think, when we did these videos on our channel, where we've come from and how you've got here. If you look at the playlist these days, the Nicola Bulley playlist is now burgeoning with interesting content. From that first episode, 11 Facts, where I did the body language analysis when they were at the river, and this one, body language analysis and react. And then I said, look, I've done 2 body language analysis now, but I need to go over it again because there's more. So we did a second red flagger, and that was so big, it was a 5-hour episode. We've done a lot, and I need to cut those little chunks out because there are now people saying, oh, have you seen this in the body language? And I'm like, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And there's still stuff coming out that we hadn't, that we hadn't thought of. Incredible. Smaller videos will get more views. You're right, Saz. You're right. I like our long form stuff. That's the way we roll. But we can do a clips channel and we can get this stuff up there. Yeah, you're right. Well done, everyone in chat as well. Together we've managed to figure out, because we've heard this milestone thing over and over again. It's an important milestone, and people have mentioned it, and why is it a milestone, and this and that. We now know, or I will say, there's more reasonable ideas behind the idea Like, it's unreasonable to say it's 7 days later and we're looking for her and it's a milestone. It doesn't seem to tie up. We've all found it fishy. Now we think it's a milestone in forensic evidence. Oh, now it makes sense. Now it absolutely makes sense. Now we know why you've said it. So I'm going with that. And I think, like, she's smiling again when she's saying this. Look, she can't help it. She's smiling again. Huge red flag, the smile, for a number of reasons. The only thing you could give her is you're on telly, the big telly. So, you know, time to shine. But love the different BL perspectives, says Slinky Socks. Body language perspectives. Yeah, thanks. This is hopefully for us here, for me, this is my bit where I can shine. You know, this is what we can get out. And Eileen says stick to the body language. Yeah, I think this is the way to go for us, isn't it? Like, this is where it won't always be new stuff on the news that you can do the body language on. And I can go back over the old cases. We can do more Madeleine I McCann, and we can do more of this and that. And you can suggest people to me that you want to see. Did they do a good apology, or are they lying? Or what does Megan say in this? Or, you know, whatever. We can see where that goes. I'd rather do that than murders all the time. So let's carry on.
To help find Nicola.
Like you've just alluded to, 7 days on, and it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
She shook her head there as well. So what she's about to say, it's a tough milestone, believe me. She looked off and she shook her head. So I would say it's either the anger at these people who are coming, God, these stupid people, or what she's about to say might not ring true. Let's see.
We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days. So we are out staying force. The community. That
was confusion. The kids walked past. She went, so we are, like, it was like her brain slowed down for a minute. So I'm saying anger, confusion at the kids walking past. This person to her that's walked past is a scumbag. And she thinks, like, how dare you walk into my, like, you've got no class, you shouldn't walk into my interview. I'm saying that. But the believe me, I don't want to go too light on the believe me either.
Such a tough milestone today, believe me.
Believe me. Believe me comes out very easily. It's a tough milestone today. You don't need to... if you're honest, you're being truthful here. I mean, you wouldn't use milestone, but if you're being honest, hello, Pink Soda. Someone in chat said hello to you. Is that true, Pink Soda? They said hello, Mary Lee. I'm seeing your regulars popping in now as well, Brian and all of yous. I'm seeing my regulars, all good in the hood. Emma studied criminology in university, apparently, says Pink Soda, where she met Paul. I don't know that for a fact. You've said it. People can believe what they want to believe. I don't put it in my box of facts until I've seen it as a fact. But I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying I can't report on the internet unless I see the certificate or whatever, you know. And Kieran is talking to Brian, being a little bit on the edge of being rude there, Kieran. If anyone wants to raise anything with me about people talking to them in chat, then, you know, have a go at me, like say, Super Chuffer, can you do this in chat or whatever? But otherwise, I like it if everyone, even if people don't get on or disagree on some things, we can talk about it and then we can move forward. I'm not going to block anyone or ban anyone at this stage. I think everyone's okay. So just, you know, be sure to be nice to each other. Otherwise, the people who are mean to each other get banned. So yeah, it's all right to have a bit of banter. It's not all right to be mean to each other. Okay. So yeah, she says, believe me. It rolls off the tongue. If you were innocent, you don't need to say believe me. It's obviously like a bad thing. So you're feeling bad because of your missing friend. Yeah, I feel terrible. Not believe me. God, like, honestly, I feel terrible. No, none of that. Believe me just rolls off the tongue here. And this is because, like I said, early in the morning, she's not as practiced on this script today. Distracted a little bit. For me, the slip out, the slip of the tongue, the fuck up is the words believe me. Because you talk about believe me expression, the smile, the duper's delight. Believe me expression also includes raising of the shoulders, turning up of the hands in a sort of gesture of contrition, asking for something. You're asking to be believed. Often it shows a lack of confidence because you are telling a lie. The shrugging the shoulders can also protect the neck, defensive. But you raise your eyebrows. You know, you've seen this in kids. Oh, honestly, no, I didn't. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I can't think what possibly have happened. I don't know. You know, the believe me look. Someone in chat here says, Maria says she's got no genuine emotion because she's an arc. Good call. I'm seeing less of some of the things that I might expect from someone who's anxious, and the believe me look, for example, hasn't come through as much because she's a narc. Agreed. And then, but she drops the words. She drops the actual. She doesn't have to do the believe me expression if she's actually saying the damn words, does she? Believe me. Okay, I will do then. Thanks for the top tip, Emma. I will believe you. Like, it didn't even need to be said there.
And it is such a tough milestone today, believe me.
Believe me, and there's that shake there. So now she's getting angry at these people. So the believe me came just before the people distracted her. So I'm going with that was a slip of the tongue. It's on its own, nothing. It's just the words, but collection of things, and we are getting quite a big collection of things with Emma these days over the course of our videos. You're right, Mary Lee. She did that video where she cried and there was no tears. I don't think I've actually specifically covered it, but maybe I'll quickly show it today. She dropped herself in it there. There's another one. Another, like, in terms of like 3 strikes and you're out, Emma's up to about 10 strikes now.
We're all
and yeah, other in chat, Doc Silver, definitely no ball. Like, yeah, pop all your strikes that you think she's done so far that you remember in chat if you want. Let's get them there as a collection so other people that see it and read it. Vanda says she's new. Hello Vanda. Thank you, Eddie, for the recommendation as well. Big ups, Eddie, like I said earlier. I would also want to say that someone else said that my chat was being... Oh, where's the chat? Oh, it's been removed. If we get a copyright strike and I have to remove something through the YouTube system, it removes the chat. I don't do that. Sometimes the chat takes a while to process. So if you're watching this later and you're like, where's the chat? It might not have processed yet, but I want the chat on. I tell the YouTube to put the chat on. Let's have the chat on. So hopefully it's there and you can all see the things that are being said in chat about Emma and her, fuck ups along the way, such as I was in a work meeting, which is probably the most famous fuck up that we found. And really, I should make a clip of that and get that out there. Emmanuel never got a notification. What can I do? What can I do? I apologise. You just have to keep on your toes.
We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days. So we are out staying force.
So 7 days is a repetition. It's been a week, 7 days, and we are.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish, and then
Mayor O sent tippies. You are a star, cheeky chuffer. Super chuffer owes 10 hugs.
Thank you very much for the £10. Here's 10 hugs coming your way. I like the way it said star cheeky. I'm a star cheeky chuffer. Thank you.
The community's come together once again.
Out in force, the community's come together. So she slowed down.
Believe me, we're all finding it tough today. But yeah, 7 days.
There was the shake of the head. We're all finding it tough. So maybe they're not finding it tough, or maybe she's angry at this person.
So we are out.
Those words are inconsequential. So we are out there. The time. Get me some time. My brain is saying. Her brain is saying. Her brain is saying. Find me some time, I need to think. We are out. And then this bit is what she thought about to say. So this next bit is my lines, my script. She doesn't come up here with no ideas. She knows exactly what she's prepared to say, what you should say, what someone who's innocent will say, what the forensic will look for after 7 days. She's been researching this shit. So she's prepared. She's ready to give a body language performance that doesn't drop the wrong words. She's watched the basics. She's watched the body language panels. She knows how to not say Nicola was, like she knows this stuff, but she's 600 likes, did you say there? Did 600? We've got 470. If we get 600, I'm not giving another 20. I'll be broke. Like, all the tippies that are coming in also need to help me push this media product forward and create more, and maybe even, feed myself. At the moment, I'm not taking a profit from my business in that way, but, I'd like to take some of the money for myself at some juncture and pay my bills. When I have kids, they won't get away with anything. Or maybe they'll be even more learned in how to do these things, and they'll manipulate. I'll probably be even more manipulated by my own children because I'll give in all the time. I'm such a soft bastard. I don't know. Hopefully one day we can get there. At least that's something to aim for. Have some kids, let them get away with murder, not literal murder. Work meetings, get them in their work meetings. Anyway, so I'm saying that she's now going to hit the script. Andrew Fletcher, £20 super chat. If you're guilty and in on it, why put yourself forward for interview? I get Paul needs to, but Emma. Okay, so the reason... This is a good question, Andrew, and I can easily do this one. The reason that Paul did some interviews, but not all of them, is because they required Paul to do something. Paul's the main face of this, and he did the the Riverside one, and he looked terrible. And they got the feedback, you look terrible. And the reason Emma's doing this, like, if you're not in on it, why would you put yourself forward is another way I could ask you that question. Like, if you're not in on it and you're just a friend of the family, like, imagine your mates, this terrible tragedy's happened to their family. Are you doing all the press conferences and giving up your can you not go to work today then and do this campaign for 2 weeks? No. It's not your family. You have to go to work. Like, many of us would want to just jaff everything in and do this. Not everyone can. And I would suggest that it's more likely her sister or, you know, someone from her family should be doing this. Maybe Paul himself. Paul looked really bad on camera, so he now needs to hide away from the cameras until they do the setup one where they've got the plan and the schedule and the, you know, the plan and the makeup and all that. But to control the narrative, Ruby, exactly, to control the narrative. Emma's role here is to disinformation. Knock people off course. She's the decoy. So she's not just gone around and walked around them in the decoy. She's also verbally the decoy here. She's putting information out to the public. And also, she's right on the scene when the police are there. So murderers often go back to the crime scene for their own perverse enjoyment. Here, this is not the crime scene. Emma is out here leading them a merry dance. She's in charge of when you turn up at the tennis club and you want to go out and look for Nicola. She gives you the map and tells you where to go and look. When the police are looking in the river, she's there saying, what have you found? What's this? How are you searching? You know, she's got all the information. She's the hub of this information. And the reason that she's doing that is because she's involved. Absolutely because she's involved. She's throwing the police off. She's gathering information, driving that narrative, and also raising funds for a GoFundMe. You know, all this is involved. And I don't think you would do any of that. I mean, you might consider doing some of it as part of a team, helping out, but being the main one all the time, turning up at 5 a.m. for the media interview, you know, being out in front of the cameras all day, you know, this isn't normal behaviour for somebody who's a friend of the family that you've known for about 2 years and they go to the same school. It's not normal behaviour. It's controlling, it's narcissistic. At best, at worst, it's somebody that's involved in the crime and wants to be hands-on in the operation to make sure that they've got control. I think that makes sense what I've said. I hope that I've described it clear enough, because I think I could talk about that for about 3 hours. Just that concept, you know, we could get Steve on and talk about that aspect of it. But I believe that about this, and I see it in the way she talks and is portraying herself. Louise gave me a super chat. Paul wore a cuff and tailor lanyard on a pic. Is it staff who get these or people who buy tickets for their events? I don't know. I don't know what cuff and tailor is, so I'm going to have to find out, because I do take your super chats seriously and your tippies on coffee as well. Everyone who does a coffee tippy, I take that very seriously, obviously. It's money involved. They're music and theatre festival events. So my guess is that you've got some sort of like, you know, you bought a special ticket. You don't want to sit with all the paupers in the cheap seats. You bought a special ticket for an event, maybe. You've got a backstage or a special bar theatre ticket thing. I don't think they give them out to everyone at the event, for sure. That's definitely not happening. Staff would probably get some specific kind of lanyard, but you don't all need the same specific lanyard. I think more likely these days you look cool with your VIP lanyard, so it's a sales point for a special ticket, and staff probably has something slightly different, like a little card on a string. Look at Marsh Farm on Facebook. Doing publicity lives, they're terrible. I'm not big on Facebook. I don't really want to be opening and using Facebook, but I will look into it in my free time, because I don't know what I'm going to, you know, I could open up Facebook and then it just opens up all sorts of shit. But we'll get there. We'll have a look. Thank you for the suggestion. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll have a look in my free time and see if it's worth bringing to stream. So yeah, Emma, problems. Carry on.
Stay in force. The communities come together once again.
So we're out in force. The communities come together once again. This is the script. Interestingly, not being displayed here. This is the days before the yellow ribbons, remember? The police are out in force. She can allude to that. Sorry, I'm using her words now. She can reference that. The police are the force that she's thinking of, but the public are not out in force. Some of them just walk past her, not giving a shit.
I couldn't be happier.
Swish, and then whoosh.
Bad gambler sent tippies. I missed the start. I was in fucking WeWork meeting. Ha ha ha, this is chuffing great. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sending you the 3 hugs. And it needs to learn to say work meeting, doesn't it? Yeah, the public are not out in force. They've just walked past her. We've just seen that.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
The missing black gilet sent tippies. Emma is wearing me. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Oh, look, is she wearing a black gilet there? Gilet. A black gilet. Gilet. Is she wearing a black gilet there? Yeah, interesting. I'm not big on the clothes description thing. simply because we know the closed description is wrong for a fact. From all the images we've seen, it's wrong, or it's right and they're the wrong images. The closed description is given to us by people who I consider to be suspects, so I don't hold much stock with it. But yeah, she does look like she's wearing a black gilet there. Also, you can wear a black gilet underneath your coat, but they did say, then you won't see it. I don't know. I'm not big on gilets. I just know that they're pronounced gilet. It's kind of like a vest. Which vest is podcast best? Black gilet. It could have been a kidnapping, but a rush hour and no evidence. Yeah, I did a scenario vid. You're right, Saz. I went through all the different scenarios, and I just can't see. You've got a 10-minute window to drag her across the field, and like, what are you doing? If you're doing a kidnapping, that's your method. It's the worst way to do it. The best way to do it, I shouldn't give anyone any tips, but you wait for her to arrive home, and then as she gets out of the car, bang, you're on her on the drive. Get back in the car. I'm driving, or you're driving. Back in the car, drive it to school, drive it out here, park it. It's a lot easier to do that, isn't it? You don't drag her across open ground. That's insane. And it doesn't matter which way you go, even if you want to go to the caravan parks or whatever, you've got to get across some open ground to get there, some of which is covered by CCTV. It's insane. Yeah.
Again, we've got banners printed, placards of Nikki.
At this juncture, you see another one of these blinks, and she's looking off here. And you see this cognitive problem blink. It's anger. It's the sound of that truck is drowning her out. She's not been mic'd up. People said that, and we can go through the Sky News stuff in a different episode, which we really have to. People said that Ron is mic'd up. She's not. They're using overhead boom mics for her. And the lorry is loud, and she's angry that it's disturbing her train of thought. She knows it's loud. It's probably drowning her out. This is her big interview on the telly, and she's distracted by things that are taking away from her performance, if you know what I mean. Like, if you're an actor and you're doing your performance, or if you're on the telly, and you're doing your thing, and a lorry goes past, it's annoying, isn't it? If you're playing your guitar in a pub and all the people are talking, could you quieten down? I'm doing my guitar. I once went to a gig. It was really interesting. This lad did it. I thought it was not negative, but like, he was obviously cross because he was about to play his little guitar, and everyone was doing their talking and whatever. So he's tuning his guitar, and no one gives a shit because he's tuning his guitar. And at the end, he went like that, just played his little guitar as loud and aggressive as he could, just went and everyone just like stopped and like, what the fuck? And then he was like, hi.
It's raining again. I couldn't be
Chevy sent
happier.
tippies.
And then whoosh.
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you, Chevy, for the tippies. 3 hugs coming out to you. The guitarist was suddenly like, everyone. I thought, shit, he's eggy. And he wasn't. He just did it deliberately to get everyone's attention. So it's about attention, isn't it, this? And for her delivering her script at this juncture, I'm not seeing like body language red flags other than you're reading from a script in your mind. But the red flag to me is the aggression directed at the outside source that's distracting from her. It's her big moment. The attention should be on her. Let's not distract from Emma at this juncture, please, because it makes her angry.
7 days, so we are. We're all finding it tough today, but yeah, 7 days.
There was actually a raise of the eyebrows here as well. I said this was anger and confusion at these people coming in. There's that raise of the eyebrows there in both condescension and surprise, but also maybe the believe me look earlier as well. Ink Junkie says, look at Huntley and Watts. They're all forefront of the media interview, and we all know what they did. Exactly. Real good shout. We did an episode on Thus. Again, get your playlists out on this channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe. There's a lot for you to enjoy. Check out the playlists. This Thus is our podcast. We do it every Monday. And on this Thus, when we talked, didn't we? Criminals who publicly appealed. Thus podcast. Maybe I need Huntley on that as the thumbnail, because it's Shannon Matthews' mom, that is. But we did look at Huntley in that. We got a criminal psychologist to have a look at, a forensic psychologist to have a look at Huntley's interview and talk about the case briefly as part of many others that we covered in that. Interesting stuff that I'm interested in, and I totally agree. These people do like to be forefront of the campaign.
Yeah, 7 days, so we are out staying force.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Ratchy181 sent tippies. Loving the show. Keep up the good work, Scott. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
3 hugs coming your way. Rach181, thank you very much for the tippies. I hope everyone's enjoyed. This is a new system we got with the tippies. I hope you're all happy with it, and I hope you all think it's nice and it works, and it's providing some I like to bring a bit of joy and a bit of buoyancy as well. You know, it's not all doom and gloom here, is it? Even if we're talking about dark things. So I quite like the way the tippy system is working, even if it is slightly interrupting sometimes. It's not interrupting for me. I quite like it. It's only there for a minute and then it's gone. You tell me in chat if you think it's a good system. So Mr. Smith says Emma's innocent. She just likes to put on a show. You know, maybe so. For me, it's not just this. There's other things as well. And to me, this plays into it. So I've got my feelings, you've got yours. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to try and convince you. I'm just going to tell you what I think from watching this.
Together once again. We've got banners printed, placards of Nikki.
It's interesting as well. People have talked about this aspect. They've got banners printed, placards. In the Madeleine McCann case, of which I've got a playlist. In the Madeleine McCann case, they had a lot of money come in for this campaign. The News of the World were involved. They had like banners, not just banners, they had like billboards, you know, the Madeleine McCann case. A lot of money came in. There was a lot of, you know, when you're spending that money and it's going to advertising agencies, quite often an advertising agency's job is to convince you that it's a good idea to advertise, because then they've got your money. Whether they do a good job of advertising your product, different story. They want to convince you it's a good idea to give them money. That's their job. They're advertising agencies. So their first advert is for themselves. Yeah. And it's interesting to me, they went for this wavy man, these placards. I know how much print production costs. It's expensive. All of this shit would have been expensive. Where it came from, who's paying for it, don't know exactly. Obviously, we know they're doing this GoFundMe and these campaigns and that. Don't know who's paying for it. Maybe it's gratuity. Maybe someone local says, look, I'll do that printing for you. You know, whatever. But there's a lot of money involved. And you could find her like overnight. So a lot of people have said, and it does smell fishy, that you would invest. For me, it's an investment of money and physical investment. You know, you've got all these placards. And then like she turns, obviously you want to find her. So as many placards as possible, please. But it's almost like Emma was planning for the future instead of assuming or hoping for the best. You know, it's almost like it was. It's a bit of a double-edged sword there. I could also say you'd want to do a lot of printing. You'd want to get as much stuff out as you can. But yeah.
We've got big wavy men, so our thought process is.
And they covered this. I don't know on Good Morning Britain. I don't know, but I assume that they have like a 10-second delay on the interview, or the way it goes out live. There's like a 10-second delay or some sort of delay. I assume that someone has got a button in the editing suite. So when something happened, I don't know why we've got a picture of Nicola. Maybe it's just a choice. We want to see a picture of Nicola at this juncture, please. But the reason this has happened is someone is in the production room, you know, the gallery. That the editors don't make choices randomly. They're not pressing buttons randomly. The producer says camera 1, camera 2, or the editor, sorry, you know, in that room, they say switch to camera. So someone has said press this button, and it might be because they've seen on the 10-second delay Emma like doing whatever. Like sometimes you need to cut off the main, or maybe a child walks through the you know, maybe a child suddenly appears here and you can see their face and everything. They don't want to see this child's face, cut away, or whatever it is. There's a reason. It might just be to see a picture of Nicola. I don't know. But we lose Emma for a second here.
We've got big wavy men.
And it's when she started to do this with her hands. So I would have liked to have seen that. She raised her hands for big wavy men. It's almost like she might break into a smile again. I mean, obviously, the thought in her mind, big wavy men, raising the eyebrows again, almost like in some sort of surprise. I mean, to anybody, the big wavy man is a fucking weird choice. To anybody, a bit weird choice. It might be legit. You know how I've got a friend now in chat who interested in sponsoring us. You're here in chat. You know, someone could have just been in, said, "Oh, I've got a big wavy man for you," and she's like, "Well, I can't say no, but it's a bit weird." I find it a strange choice, and we can't really see the body language around it, but I'd love to see that.
Big wavy men, so our thought process is we've explored every avenue.
And she stutters and fucks that up again. So we've got big wavy men, and also I'm thinking about the textual analysis, you know, reading into it. We've got big men. Like, take out the wavy a bit, you know, we've got big men. Like, does she like, you know, a bit of a, you know, strong man? Is she thinking about strength? Wavy, is is there something in the back and forth of the wavy man that's in her brain here? Have I got the Paul Drive past footage to analyse? Paul Drive's past footage. I don't know exactly which one that's on, no. So if someone knows which interview that is and they want to, you know, show me and tell me, I'll find it. But otherwise, not off the top of my head, no. Or maybe we've already seen it in a different interview and I wasn't aware of Paul driving past. I've heard about it as a concept, haven't seen it, no. Did Paul get paid for the Channel 5 programme, Louise asks. It's quite common for a production team to pay people. It's also quite common for people to say, like, if you've got a vested interest and you benefit from it, we don't need to pay you because you're selling your book or you're selling your this. But usually you offer to pay guests, yes. And I mean, even documentary people, like people say, I want to, like, usually get paid after the documentary. You get like a cut of the profits rather than a payment for turning up, because like then you're less interested in acting up for the cameras for money, and instead you're more interested in us creating a proper documentary, and then, you know, maybe you get a bonus at the end. But it is normal for people to be remunerated for things in media, yes, I would say.
Come together, the police, everybody's come trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw. So today,
that's an interesting one. They're trying to find the missing piece to a jigsaw. Maybe we need to go over this one again because I'm like only a minute in and I need to speed up, but there's a lot in this.
So our thought process is, we've explored.
So our thought process is who's us, and how are you thinking from a third person perspective about your thought process? Why are you describing your thought process? Because you've been thinking about what your thought process would be. Well, you don't think about what your thought process would be. You just tell me what you think. But the only reason you would describe your thought process is if you said, right, if I was innocent, what would my thought process be? You know?
Every avenue, the community's come together, the police, everybody's come to Nikki, we've got big wavy men. So our thought process is, we've explored every avenue, the community's come together, the police.
So our thought process is, we've explored every avenue, the community's come together, the police. It's almost like she's got a checklist for her thought process. Walking around in the avenues, literally the avenue, because she stood by one, you know, a little alleyway. The community coming together, that's part of the checklist. You know, we need this, what's going to happen when the community comes together, and then the police, that's on the checklist. You know, our thought process, what's our thought process for trying to find my missing friend? Well, it's get everyone out. That's not my thought process. My thought process is, I hope she's not dead. My thought process is, if she's not dead, where could she be? You know, that's my thought process. But if you're listing these things, like, so if you're telling me this is your thought process, and then you're listing out in force, getting the community together, the police, it's almost like you're thinking about what would be a threat to the, like, if you're guilty, you're worried about what's a threat to you. So your thought process is, will the people in the community find me or say something? Will the police see something? You know, my thought process is about these things that are looking, you know, it's a different way of thinking and looking about what she said. And I would warrant that if she's innocent, she doesn't speak like this. And if she's guilty, there's a lot of reason to.
Everybody's come trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw.
Everybody's come, and she stutters again. This is interesting, this one, because it's so early in the morning. Like I said, she's less on the script. Everybody, there's stress. This underbite thing happens where she's like doing the Bart Simpson like that, and it's actually stress that is in the jaw there, revealing itself. She's trying to be cool and relaxed and smiley, but at the same time, she knows she's not supposed to be smiley, and then there's stress coming through in the jaw.
And that missing piece of the jigsaw. So come together, the police, everybody's come trying to find.
Everybody's come. There's that moment there. Everybody's come.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish and then swoosh.
Chuffer Lover Friday WRRKKKKKKK sent tippies. On Marsh Farm welcome vid please go back SC. As Emma welcomes us inside, she turns, her hip rises and she slides. Just like the legs and feet in the door cam vid that you noticed, you said I wonder if she has problems with her hip or stance step. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
I owe you 3 hugs, and I will check that almost immediately. I'll just finish saying what I'm saying here. She looks in shock. We've seen this from Paul Ansell. We saw him look away in shock. She's opening her eyes slightly wide. This is adrenaline dump, fear, anxiety, shock, surprise, pursing the lips as well. Defensive here, a worry.
Everybody's come to try.
Everybody's come to... And she stops that and goes off somewhere else. Look, she almost like... She hear... And then she changes.
Trying to find that missing piece.
Trying to... She shakes her head, shakes off what was... Something was in her mind. Everybody's come. The shock. Don't say this, the pursing of the lips.
Everybody's come to...
Everybody's come to the fear, the anxiety. Everybody's come to...
Trying to find...
We've jumped. We've stuttered. Almost like that CCTV that jumps. Remember that CCTV that jumped? In my mind, everybody's come. The alert, the brightness. It's either everybody's come looking and I'm scared because they're looking now at me and the case, and everybody includes TikTokers and the media and the news. And I thought this might happen, but now it's happening and I'm on the telly. Everybody has come. Like the world media has descended on that. I'll tell you what, tinderchat.com, best chat. It's not the best sex chat out there. It's not. You get better sex chat in... I nearly added them as a moderator then. You get better sex chat in the Beano, mate. Piss off. Anyway, it's almost like... You get better sex chat on Tinder, yeah, well done. It's almost like she's scared at this very moment and she's thinking about something that scares her. So it's either all the eyes on, everyone coming, but what about if? What about if? What about if? And this is an if, this isn't a sure, this is an if. What about if she's thinking about the moment that somebody came, not being rude, in a work meeting with Paul Ansell. If you're in a work meeting with Paul Ansell, somebody's coming, doing all the coming. Could be that. It could also be the moment that somebody opens the door and discovers you. Somebody came. Somebody's here. Could that somebody have been Nicola? Is that why you're reminded of the shock and the surprise, and why you have to quickly shake your head and get out of that and move on to everybody being the community and some other aspect of it? Because if you're innocent, you don't have those bad thoughts running through your head, but if you're guilty, you might do.
Everybody's come to trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw, so...
And trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw, to me, we actually looked yesterday at this wonderful deck of cards. If you didn't watch the Are People Evil video, we looked at this literary witches oracle at the end as a bit of a chill out at the end, and we drew some cards, and we drew Agatha Christie out of this literary witches oracle deck. Really interesting thing. And Agatha Christie was the concept was talking about trickery, and was talking about puzzles, and talking about... Oh, what was the other thing it was talking about? It was talking about... This music's on quiet. Skip it on a bit. It was talking about murder mystery, missing pieces of the puzzle, stuff like that. It's interesting she uses the phrase missing piece of the jigsaw, you know, missing piece of the puzzle. Did she say puzzle or jigsaw?
We need to come together, the police, everybody's come to trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw, so...
She said jigsaw. She didn't say puzzle. She said jigsaw, which is a very specific kind of puzzle. A puzzle where things are cut up, moved around and shuffled about so you can't tell what's what. You have to look at individual little pieces and put them together to try and make the big picture. Individual little pieces that you put together show you the big picture. And everyone's looking for a piece that reveals the truth, the missing piece. You remember on Catchphrase, you'll all remember, I want you in chat now. I need you to give me just a signal. If you know what Catchphrase is and you watched it, just a signal. I need you in chat now. I need you. Let's pump that chat rate up. Let's get that chat rate pumping. Someone's dropped me a super chat there about Huntley and Watts. I read that one, didn't I? Ink Junkies, want to make sure I covered that, yeah. Pump me in chat now. Let's get my chat pumping. I want to see that chat rate. I've got a thing on the screen that says chat rate. There's over 1,000 people in here. We've hit 540 likes, 600 likes, and I'll give another 20. Did I say to charity? Did I say that? Oh no, we're already giving another charity. We're already giving the money to charity. It's just time for you to hit more likes. And let's get that pumping. If you know what Catchphrase is, come on, say what you see what you say. You know what Catchphrase is, yeah? So you will know. Mr. Chips, Claire, Mr. Chips, that's a good one. Tell me you know what catchphrase is without telling me you know what catchphrase is. Mr. Chips. That says it all. Loving it. Okay, so your own catchphrase where you get that piece, you get the super catchphrase. I won't show you on screen because it will get me binned off for copyright probably, but you do the special round and you just take one square and reveal a square and you're like, try and get the middle one. And also Roy Walker turned out to be a racist, didn't he? Anyway, you do Emma's Mr. Chops. Loving it, John Eads. Loving it.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish and then
8
whoosh.
cent tippies. Cold, dark, lifeless eyes, as Robert Shaw once said in a famous fishy film. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Cold, dark, lifeless eyes. Peeping out at you from the sea. Look at it peeping out. It's scary the way it peeps at you. Where you're going to get changed into your swimming shorts. Well, look, there's the shark peeping at you. He's looking at you on the beach with your towel around you. Trying to change into your swimming shorts on the beach. He's looking to bite your little winky off. Cold, dark, lifeless eyes. Yeah, piece of a jigsaw. Yeah, remember in catchphrase, like it just did then when the thing disappeared off my screen, and then you see the picture behind it. They're looking for this missing piece of the puzzle. It makes me think of catchphrase where you reveal the truth by getting this piece and uncovering it. She's saying they're looking for a missing piece of a jigsaw specifically. And a missing piece means there's a hole, means there's something we don't know, there's information missing, means that everyone's out looking for that. They're not, obviously. Bear in mind I've taken you down this little thought road. What are we actually looking for? Remember what we were actually looking for at this juncture today on this video. Like, she's not confirmed dead at this juncture. They're looking for Nicola Bulley. They're not looking for a little piece of a jigsaw. They're looking for fucking Nicola Bulley. Yeah, your friend who's missing. So it's really fucking weird to say they're looking for a little piece of a jigsaw. And even more weird to think of it like a jigsaw because she's missing. It's not like a jigsaw. It's more like one of those tracker. Like if it was a game, it would be like hide and seek maybe or something. Or like track and find, or like, you know, like sardines or so. I don't know. I'm trying to think of games where whoa, obs disconnected, reconnecting. Are you? Reconnection successful. I don't know if we just lost a bit then. My stream seems to be fine. Everything seems to be fine. For some reason, obs just had a little paddy. But I'm saying that it's weird to say jigsaw because the sort of games where you're trying to find someone, you're actually trying to find Nicola. You're not trying to find a jigsaw piece. You're absolutely... jigs up. Good one. 4D man. I like that. Jigs up. Jiggery pokery. I like that. Thinking about the word. Soccer gal Sarah. I think I might get that name right. More right every time I say it. Hello, Kilted. What jigsaw? She thought she was in the river at the bench, not a puzzle. Good point. Yeah, she seems to think they've got a theory. And there's so many problems with this use of jigsaw. So many problems of this use of the word jigsaw. So it also reminds me of murder films. There's actually a murderer in a film called Jigsaw, isn't there? Is it in Scream? Or is it in... No, it's in... oh, it's dark. It's dark. It's in Saw, isn't it? In Saw, the killer's called Jigsaw, and it's like dark and demonic. And it does, like... She's talked about torture in some of her interviews. She's mentioned the word torture in some of her interviews, and it made me worried that someone was tied up and tortured at some juncture as part of some horrible thing. That's what made me worried about the drug angle. But Saw, the Jigsaw killer, and jigsaws are a damn... You can cut someone's body up with them. Obviously they hadn't, but maybe they considered it. Everyone's out searching for the missing piece of the jigsaw, she says. And if they find it, what are they finding? What are they finding? Not Nicola herself, obviously, but some piece of evidence, some small thing that puts together to make a bigger picture. You obviously want them to find the lead, the phone, the dog. I believe there's another piece of evidence that they have planted at the scene that has not been found. And Emma can't come forward and say, have you looked over here for this piece of evidence? And Paul can't come forward and say, I threw it there. Have a look over there. But I would think there's another piece of evidence that she believes is out there yet to be found that points towards river death, that they have made point towards river death. My assumption, because of the idea about the car keys coming up a lot, my assumption is that they put the phone on the bench, the harness they threw towards, like they made a trail towards the river. And if you do 2 points, you make a line. Yeah, you can make a line. But if you do 3 points, you know, it's like you've got a direction, haven't you? You've got like a trend. So you follow the line. So I think the third item would have been thrown in the river, and I think it's the car keys, and I think they threw it in the river, and this is why I think they got Peter Folding in. I am at this juncture, because it ties in, going to switch to the other video just a minute, because it ties in here. We'll come back to this, and we'll do this full analysis like we're doing, but I'll come back to this video. I just want to come to this one. This is about Peter Folding. It's the TikToker who recorded it and put it up on the TikTok, Misper44. I ripped it and put it up on YouTube from TikTok, Misper44. So big up Misper44. I put it on Sentries. I'm not making any money off it. I just needed it so that I could slow motion the things through. Click, click, click through the things through. But I worry that I'm a bit guilty of the same thing that I accused Armchair Detective of. But fortunately, this is not monetized. And like, I'm giving all the credit to Misper44 on TikTok. So trying to do it in the right way. I just need it to be slow mode for our analysis. But listen to this.
Time for all of you. I mean, this team that's coming in today, you instigated them, didn't you? What are you hoping they're going to find?
Yeah, from when the news bulletin came in on Friday and the police's hypothesis, and we said it's a theory, we need some evidence to back that theory up. And then going on the media. So
the police have got a hypothesis, and it's just a theory. Obviously, you've heard this script that she's like arranged in her mind a number of times before. The police have got a hypothesis, and it's just a theory, and we need some evidence to back the theory up. She said it differently before, but today she's basically saying the police have got a hypothesis we now know to be suicide in river, and we need some evidence to back that up. Why do you need evidence to back up the police's hypothesis, Emma? Why do you need that? Oh, to prove that she died in the river, of course. Well, why do you want to prove that? She's lost. She hasn't been found yet. She's not dead yet. You don't know that at this stage because of this interview. What you want... Oh, Beaclet Jog was here and he's popping off. Sorry if I'm not spotting you all in chat. Big ups, Beaclet Jog. Always welcome here, of course. You're becoming regulars now, aren't you? Donna of England as well. Seeing you in chat. Broadmoor inmate, one of my favourites. Cool name. Gary Fairhead. We've got Where's Nina. I'm saying that the reason you want this to be found, evidence found to support this, is because you want her to be found to be suicide in river. That's what you want. That's your escape. That's your alibi, and not alibi, sorry, but it means it's not a crime and you're not to fault. Yeah. If you did it, that's what you want. You want there to be a reason that you could say it wasn't a crime and you're not to fault. If you didn't do it and you haven't murdered her, what you want is to find Nicola safe and sound and alive. And you would hold on to any hope. They talk about hope an awful lot in their interviews. You're holding on to hope that you can find her safe, sound and alive. So what you said in this interview here, this lesser seen interview, what you've said is we have a theory, the police have a theory, and we need evidence to back up that theory. Now, when you're doing an investigation, everyone knows this, but I'll reiterate, you know, a simple point that most people know. I don't know. Anyway, look, when you're doing an investigation, I'm doing it wrong, me personally. I red flag these fuckers. I think it's her. I think it's Paul. So I red flag them. I'm doing it wrong. Okay. But I understand that. Like, I'm not an investigator. I'm a YouTuber and I've got my opinions. The truth is, what you should do is you should be open-minded and you should say, okay, I think this is the thing I think, and this is, let's investigate it. Now let's put a different hat on and say it's not that, it's this other thing, and be open-minded. And let's put all the options on the table and let's work through them all equally, giving them each credence. Of course, in an investigation like this, you don't want to be completely open-minded, not stupidly open-minded. You know, we don't think I'm going to give equal credence. I say stupid, no offence to those that believe this stuff, but I'm not going to give equal credence to an alien came down and took her, or a horse ran in and dragged her off. Like 2 horses ran in and dragged her off by, like, you know, one bit each ear and dragged her off. That's not getting us equal credence as her partner murdered her. Because statistically, it's less likely that horses are going to drag her off, more likely her husband done it. Statistically. So what I'm going to do is look at the pie chart of what statistically is likely, and I'm going to investigate more the stuff that's statistically more likely. That does include suicide. River suicide, slightly less part of the pie chart now. You know, specifically this, and in this place it's less. all that. We did our worst case scenarios episode where we looked at all the different things. That's how to properly investigate. I'm not doing that here. I'm throwing the red flags up, right? I think that's fair enough, though, when she says shit like this.
This is hypothesis, and we said it's a theory. We need some evidence to back that theory up.
So the police have got a hypothesis. We said it's a theory. We need some evidence to back it up. That's being biased, isn't it? That's not doing what I just said and looking at every, every option and trying to, what you're saying there is we want to back up the police's hypothesis. We need evidence so that we can, to back up the hypothesis. I could say we need evidence to back up the hypothesis it's been a murder, because I'm biased, she's biased, and her bias is towards it being a suicide. She's looking for evidence to prove it's a suicide. I thought Emma was out there searching for Nicola. I thought Peter Folding was being brought in to search for Nicola, to clear the river so that we could prove she's... In my heart of hearts, if I'm looking for my loved one, I've organised Peter Folding. Why have you got Peter Folding coming in? Do you think she's in the river? God, I hope not. I hope that he goes up and down that river and proves she's not. And we can rule it out and we can find her somewhere else. Yeah? That's not what Emma said. She's saying that she's brought in Peter Folding to find evidence that Nicola was in the river and support the police theory. That's what she said. I didn't say it. She said it. Yeah? She said it. Remember what I just saying? The reason I've come here to this video, jumping off from here, she's talking about a small piece of a jigsaw. What small piece of a jigsaw? I suggested maybe something thrown in the river. Could be the car keys, could be the Fitbit. Something, you've got the phone on the bench, you've got the harness on the way to the river, you haven't got Nicola herself in the river, so, well, no dice. Well, you've got Nicola's Fitbit in the river. Oh, she's definitely been in the river then. That fell off. She's been in there. You know what I'm saying? I think there's something else in the river just there. I think there's something they've missed. And I think she's brought in the expert diver to find it.
And then going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding, CGI.
Going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding. I don't know what that, fumbling her words a bit. Going on the media, we saw Peter Folding. What do you mean going on the media? She means going on the internet. She didn't want to say internet. You don't say I'm going on the media today. Are you going to tell me some important news stories? Yeah, just let me go on the media for a minute and find out. You've gone on the internet and found this. What do you mean you've gone on the internet and been searching for river search and rescue and all that? Well, you probably are because you're trying to find Nicola. Or maybe you've done that in advance as part of your cover. She's angry looking. She is. She's staring into the sun a little bit here, so maybe it affects her. I'm not doing the full body language analysis on this one right now. I'm just doing text, what she's saying, because it's so important and it ties in with this other thing. But get this.
And then going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding, CGI Group, who has this specialist equipment, they've got expertise in running this device. The sonar device can come along on the bed and pick up a little stone. We thought, well, how do we get in contact with it? We need this guy in St Michael's now. And
the sonar device can go along the riverbed and pick up a little stone. And we thought, well, how do we get in touch with this guy? We need this guy in St Michael's now. So they've done the river search and it hasn't picked up a little stone that she is hoping that they find. This guy can pick up a little stone, so she wants him in. Nicola's not a little stone. She's a grown-up, yeah? Right? So why do you need this guy to find a little stone? I get the hyperbole. You're trying to be... Oh, it's so good it can pick up a little stone, so we need him because he could find her. But we're not looking for a little stone, honey, right? You have told me in your interview here that there's a missing piece to a jigsaw puzzle. Not puzzle, jigsaw. Small piece jigsaw. I'm thinking something you can hold in your hand. And I'm thinking that you're thinking of this like a jigsaw because they're all cut up pieces. You've been assembling them as part of your media campaign and you're making a picture for us. It's not the truth. It's a jigsaw. There's a piece of the puzzle. There are other pieces of the puzzle she hopes we don't find. Real evidence that point to her as a murderer. But this piece is missing and she's hoping to find it. She said that. She didn't say she was hoping to find Nicola. She said she was hoping to find a missing piece of a jigsaw. Here, she didn't say, I want this guy to come in and find Nicola. She said he can find a little stone on the riverbed. So now we need him. So that's why, no, I'm arguing like, imagine Scotty Hottie in court now. Your Honour, I put it to you that on the night of the 14th, Emma White did say But, this is my case. It's circumstantial. Well, it's things she said. It's things she has said. I'm not making up shit. She has said it, right? She's trying to find a little stone on the riverbed. She's brought in the expert who can do such because we're looking for a small piece of a jigsaw. She didn't say small. Jigsaw pieces are small by nature, unless you're doing the 3-piece jigsaw. Unless you're on level 1 doing the 3-piece jigsaw. She's about as much use as a 1-piece jigsaw. She rides the seesaw all on her own. She's a cone, but there's no ice cream on it. You said you were strictly legit. I saw you quit. You're like Shakespeare without the sonnets. A knocked off beamer with a drop top bonnet. You said there's a bird in the bush. I've got 5, let's see it. I'll play the guitar till I complete it. I'm Sinclair Spectrum. You're Sinclair Spectrum without a joystick. Your rubber buttons on a damn straitjacket. MC Strafe, I make noise like Agassiz racket. I packed it, let's smoke it like Iraqis. That was written in the Iraq War, so they were dropping bombs on Iraqis. Smoke it like Iraqis. Oh, shouldn't say that really. I got done up. I feel bad like I've been hit with a hammer. You don't look so good, you need to see Trini and Susanna. If another spanner like you gets in my works, it'll send me berserk like Kohana Yamoya. I've been an ignorant delinquent sitting in the cinema. The other MCs have been messing with the projector. You better bet the ace on the... an ace on the... Wait. These are my lines. I should remember them. Ignorant delinquent sitting in the cinema, but the other MCs have been messing with the projector. I hit an ace on the turn, but how come I can't do my own rhymes? Messing with the projector. I hit an ace on the turn. Nut flush suited connector. You better bet I'm betting. You better bet I'm betting big. I'm all in. I'm large and in charge when I'm yawning in the morning, calling in the favours, man. I'm hauling in the debts. Pull the anchor up. It's bad enough. I hit the decks. I'm like iceberg cold while the whole world's manic. Other MCs that get wrecked like Titanic. Other MCs are not much, we're very many. We can battle it out like Kenny versus Spenny. Yeah, anyway. I'm going off on one. Because I'm excited, because I just busted her in like a really messed up thing. What is this one piece of small jigsaw puzzle that you are looking for when you're supposed to be out looking for Nicola? And why are you drafting in Peter Folding to find a very small piece of a jigsaw in the river and not Nicola? Because if you find a piece of like the Fitbit or the car keys in the river, it adds more to the story that she went in the river. And then you've got Peter Folding coming in and finding it and corroborating the things you're saying. That's why he's been brought in, to make you look innocent, not to find Nicola. You said it. Agree or disagree in chat. I think it's awful you condemn this woman. There's a disagree from Lady Bex. She said it. If it was you out there, Lady Bex, and I'm your mate, yeah, and I'm out there saying I'm looking for a little missing piece of a puzzle, and you're out there in the fucking bushes somewhere, like, leg broke, need to be found. I wish he hadn't said that on the news. He's demeaned and diminished my need to be found. I'm not a little piece of the puzzle. You'd hope I'd be doing more than this. If you were out there, Lady Bex, and it's me that's looking for her, for you, then I'd be doing more than this. I think she's murdered this woman. I think I think Paul Ansell's involved. Like, it's most likely, out of all the statistical probabilities of what could have happened, quite likely. So I'm not wrong to say it. And if you don't like it, you can go and watch. There are other channels who have other ideas. Lady Bex could be Emma. No, she's not. I don't actually Emma. I only see half the picture. Yeah, do you know what? I'm seeing all of this picture, and this is what I'm going on. What she said. So you're right. I don't see everything at all. Half is not even half. Less than half. Little sliver of it. I mean, I know that Nicola Bulley was anti-vax. I know that. Don't think it's pertinent. I see a lot more than the average person who watches the news, maybe, because I'm sort of wading in deep, aren't I, now? But I kind of agree with you. But at the same time, what do you want to do? Is it open debate? Absolutely. You can say what you want. I'm not going to ban you off because you don't agree. It's important that we have people that disagree. Otherwise, I won't have other opinions. This video today is about me red flagging, going over this, looking for body language that is indicative of guilt. So I'm not going to suddenly change today's episode. But if you've got something to show me that Like, and Lucia, I said that. You can look into Nicola Bulley's Twitter yourself. I said it. It's not a fact I've proved to you. I just said it. I've looked into it myself, but you can look into it yourself if you want to verify those facts. And we're not having a vaccine conversation today now. That's the past. How do I know that, Miss Lemons? I don't want to show her Twitter, but she's been on Twitter, Nicola has. She's got her own Twitter. And if you look at it, her opinions are quite clear through the things she's liked, shared and retweeted. So it may have been that caused a rift in the marriage. You know, a rift in, not the marriage, but it may have been that people like Emma and Paul think she's an idiot and she's a dickhead. You know, it may have been, you know, through that shit. I'm not, if you vax, anti-vax, whatever, I don't care. I don't want to talk about it in chat anymore. Like, you know, we're going to go on into the future and we're going to love each other because we have to. Like, I don't care about what you voted on Brexit. Like, that's done. It's the past. I want to move forward together, like, in any way that we can, because too much division, yeah? So I will listen to everyone's opinions and everything like that. That's really important because of too much division. But in terms of Nicola and her opinions, I think it could have played into, we've all been through it. We've all maybe lost a friend because of a heated discussion. We've all maybe, you know, stopped going to a certain pub or hanging out with certain people. I'm not saying that. I used to go to a pool night. I need to go back. It's through laziness that I don't go, not because of vaccine opinions. But do you know what I mean? We've all had different opinions over the last sort of 10 years now, and it's a load of shit. Yeah. So I don't want to have any of that anymore. So you're okay with your opinions. I don't agree with all of you. Can't agree with all of you. No one can agree with everyone. But some things we can all agree on. Let's move forward on that. We don't all agree on Emma, maybe, okay? But, you know, okay. You can debate in chat if you want, Lady Bex. You can debate in chat, then I'll allow it, obviously. But what I tend not to do, Lady Bex, is I don't encourage it. I'll tell you why. Because someone's going to say, Lady Bex, I think this. And you're going to say, well, no, I think this. And then they're going to say, yeah, but I think this. And you're going to say, well, I think this. And at the end of it, oh, I don't like you. You're a chuffer for thinking that. And you're, oh, this one got angry with me. Like, we don't need any of that. Paul driving past Emma, thanks for that. I will try and grab that and have a look. Let me just pop that in a window for you. Okay, I will. Oh, it's that one. It's that video. Okay, yeah. We'll look at that. We'll try and get to that as well. The problem with the debate is that two people turn up to a debate to argue with each other, prepared with all their facts. They have a row, and nobody turns their back on it. I'm not, Andrew. Thanks for the 20 quid. I know that 20 quid's a lot of money. I'm not prepared to really go on about vaccines in today's episode. It's too complicated. It's too complicated. I both had vaccines at the time, doing the best thing I possibly could for the people around me, but also understand that the way the companies are run and our lives and our concerns are very different. And Boris Johnson and his cronies and these companies have made a lot of money. And did they give a shit about my life? No. I understood that before. But it was like, it's like saying, what's your opinion on Hitler and the war? Well, it's complicated. But in the end, I stood up and I had to be conscripted, so I went. You know, I took the risk, because I'd had to do the best thing for people around me. That's the way I see it. More complex, more deep than that, not prepared to go into it. Don't think it's worth it at the moment for us and our time. Certainly the vaccines that are available now are not even the vaccine for the current coronavirus. So it's like it's a dead issue. It's like it's a non-conversation. People have made their decisions, we've moved forward. There's a lot of problems with it socially. There's a lot of problems with the way politics leverage things. It's a huge thing. It's been talked about by experts. Like, I just, you know, my opinions are not that important, but we can maybe do an episode on it, and I'll piss half of you off and half of you will hate it, and then that's great. Because why? What for? We just got different opinions. But this is like this thing I was saying about in chat as well. You can have these discussions with each other, but don't let it get into arguments, and don't back and forth. Say what you think. They say what they think. If you've got a thought or a feeling after that, maybe one more, but that's about enough. Because otherwise it's just two people having a row, and nobody, I've never seen a debate where at the end of the debate all the people like say, oh, do you know what, I come here as a Democrat, I'm leaving a Republican. Well done, everyone. Like, that's not how it works. So why bother? Like, I'd rather we have some mechanism of discussing things where we can move forward and share ideas, and that's not a debate. A debate is a head-to-head battle, is not a moving forward and sharing of ideas. We need a circle where we're all involved in the circle, not a ring with two of us, one either side in each corner. So this is not, my channel is not a gladiatorial combat zone, so we won't be having any big debate. But we can talk about things instead. We can talk about things. We need to talk about things, but we can't hate each other for it. We simply can't. We're all going to have different ideas and opinions. That's going to happen, and that's good. So sometimes I'm a bit like, whoa, but I didn't live your life. I haven't gone through your experiences, and you haven't gone through mine, so I can't second guess what you think, and you can't pretend to make me think something else either. I'm not allowed to do a live on vaccines if it contravenes YouTube rules, Medway. If that's the case, and we're talking about it now, I've said the word a load of times, so this episode will probably get shut down, won't it? YouTube, no monetization, not shared to anyone. I understand. But we can maybe go on a different system then. There's other sites that will let you talk. I don't care about talking. I do care about causing division, and I'm not a source of that. So I need to find a way of talking where we can heal, rather than whatever. What the hell, derailing? Yeah, maybe we are derailed now. So we've had a little word on it. It got brought up. We've looked at it. Can we put that aside now? Because we're doing this. Thanks. Yeah. My big point, and I made a good big point there, so I'm glad I have. If that's what we've achieved today, we've done some big points today. 2 hours in, we've got another hour at least for this. And we can do more. There's always more time in the future. But we have done some massive ones today, haven't we? Like, I need to be clipping them, because that was big, the jigsaw puzzle piece, in combination with Peter has been brought in to find something small. Let's go on. And then I will finish on Emma breaking down, because you've asked for it, you've shown it me. I will finish on that, and I hope that was £20, Andrew. That was a big super chat. So I really am grateful for it, Andrew. I hope that I answered your question enough and gave it enough time to be, I'm grateful. I think it's a valid question, but I also hope that I'm not pissing you off by like sitting on the fence, Another 20 from Andrew here says, I agree with you, it's a controversial subject. Please let me just click on it. I don't want to go to channel, I just want to view it. YouTube, please. Oh, now I can click it, now it's at the top. A controversial subject. I care very little for what I put in my body, a bit more for the fact of coercion. Freedom is stronger. Yeah, like, there are problems, there are problems. Like I say, it's not a black and white thing. It's not like the vaccine equals bad and the coercion equals good. Like, obviously not. Like, and it's not like the vaccine equals 100% good and the coercion equals like 100% bad. Sometimes we need social mechanisms to try and get people to, like, I believe in the war they had conscription. That was like coercion, but worse. In the war, you had to go and fight in the war. You were conscripted. It's worse than coercion. It's like bullying, like they made you do it. At the same time, I would have volunteered. So, there's swings and roundabouts on some of these ideas. Andrew says, Tad, I respect your position. Finishing off your chat with another bit of chat there. Thank you. Interesting super chats today and interesting goings on in chat. So I'm happy for it. Oh, we're talking to Paul now in chat. Everyone's talking to Paul Ansell. Paul Ansell. He did it because he was shagging Emma and he wanted Nicola out of the way, and things came to a head when they were discovered, and suddenly shit kicked off and it had to be done. Lucia, $20. Thanks for being me. Thanks for being you, cheeky avocado. We've got 8 minutes more of this. I don't know how we're going to get it fitted into an hour. There's so much to unpack. I'm glad we discovered it. There's more to do. If we don't finish, we come back and do more. No problem.
Today, commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been passed this week.
Interesting, she there says, communities might come past that haven't been passed this week. So she's talking about communities coming past, which is weird because that's a group of people. A community might be the travelling community. A community might be the shooting community. A community might, a shooting community slightly less. We talk about online communities like that. But here she's talking about communities. We're talking about the St. Michael's community, but she's talking about a different community. The only other countryside community I could think of would be like, the travelling community. Is that what she means? What communities as a plural are coming past? That's strange. The only reason I could suggest here is that she's had these different people walk past. She's had the woman come past with the kids. Maybe that threw her. Maybe she's using the wrong word, but it's a strange choice from Emma.
Every avenue, the communities come together, the police, everybody's come trying to find that missing piece of the jigsaw. So today commuters might come past that perhaps haven't been past this week. For some reason haven't seen all the media footage around Nikki. Just one last hope that someone can shed just a little piece of information on where Nikki is.
It's a really weird one. I'll tell you what, I think we need to come back and finish this when I'm stronger and more focused, because I think my mental, like 2 hours is a long time for me to focus on, and I don't just do that, I do a lot of chatting as well. We're not finished yet though, we've got an hour in the episode. I want to look at this fake crying in the pool bit, like that's on my mind as well. But I think there's something more in this as well. I think there's loads more in this, to be honest. So I think we come back. This doesn't last the full 8 minutes, it lasts up until about 4 minutes. So we've got another two more minutes, and it's taken us 2 minutes and we've done 2 hours, so I expect an hour per minute. I mean, that's how it's like, that's what it's like, an hour per minute on this shit, because there's so much in it. So I think we give it the space it deserves and make sure that we come back and do it thoroughly. I'll carry on today and do more. We're going to do some of this, but we're going to review this a second time, I think, this one. A super chat asking, is there any way Chuffers can chat without using YouTube? You can get on my Twitter. You can send me an email. The email's my least favourite one because it's like the most formal, and I get a lot of emails from all these different companies that I'm on the internet with. Like it's like YouTube sent me an email, and you know everyone else sent me an email. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not a big fan of that, but sometimes it's the most best one for like talking to me about sponsorship or something like that, which I'm going to get on. So keep reminding me. But I've also got this, which is Discord. I'll copy this. I'm going to post it in chat. This is Discord. It's a chat service. It's its own program. It's really gamer and Twitch gamer stuff. You know, it's really, all the gamers use it to talk to each other while they're playing the games. But it's like a forum, a chat room. And that's my one. So you can go on there and you can post. We've got a Nicola Bulley, well, a true crime space there, and we've got like there's different spaces within the forum there, so you can go on there and talk there. The email is available, and also truebinaural@outlook.com is the email, and I am at Informal Films on the internet there on Twitter. I like Twitter the best at the moment because it's modern, because it's bad because of the Elon Musk thing, I suppose, isn't it? But what's good about it is that it's open, easy and quick, and lots of people are seeing it and using it. So that's the one I'm using the most at the moment for easy, quick chat. But there's chat here and there's comments as well after the video as well. You want to see the rap video with the dog? We've seen it before. I'm not necessarily finishing today's episode on that today. We can bring it up again, or you can find it on Battery Exhausted, the B-side, which I will be bringing more streams to the B-side. Look out for that. I'll post it on Twitter when I do it. Look out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the B-side. I want to have a look at this because it's on my mind now, this one. I'm sure I covered it before. This is only 18 seconds, so let's cover this. And it's actually like, you know...
Right, well, Mummy does it this way. I know you haven't seen Paul, we've just seen Paul drive past.
Yeah, he just came past his car then.
Put yourself in Paul's shoes. He's got this underlying worry going on, sadness, heartache. But for those two little girls, he has to be so strong.
I remember looking at this. She's doing the fake crying. You can tell, obviously, because she's got no eye makeup on. Sorry, because she's got a lot of eye makeup on. There's no tears. Narcissistic, red flag, fake crying. The assumption here then is this.
Right, well, Mummy does it this way. I know you haven't seen Paul, we've just seen Paul drive past.
Yeah, he kissed.
So you're assuming that that's Paul in the red car, but this is just a clip from a bigger interview. So he could have driven past just a little bit before. That didn't have to be him in the red car. You know, that was the last car that went past, but she didn't say it as it went past. It's a different car to that red car in the Curtis Media one. It's not the same car as that. I'm looking for that interview, you know, that interview that we were just watching. I'm sure I've seen it on here before. Maybe it's gone, you know, people are taking them down. Because I'm sure that, like, you don't need me to show it you even, that the other cars go past literally just seconds beforehand. So he could have been one of the other cars that had gone past. It didn't have to be that exact car that she just said about. You'd think I'd be able to find this interview, wouldn't you? GB News chuffing love it, don't they? If anyone can find and link me the full interview, then I'd rather look at the full context, because I think it's unfair to just take the 18 seconds and say that was Paul's car. I think that's a jump to a conclusion that throws you off, throws you away, because it might not be. And if I was stood there giving the interview...
Right, well, Mummy does it this...
let's assume it's different, because she's talking about the hair and stuff like that. Let's assume that Paul had just driven past in any one of other cars in the previous 10, 20 seconds. It's in your mind, you're thinking about it, but now's not the moment to say it until you get to that moment in your conversation.
Way. I know you haven't seen Paul, we've just seen Paul drive past.
Yeah, he kissed.
This is BBC, isn't it? So maybe if I put Emma White BBC interview. I know you haven't seen Paul, you just saw Paul drive past. I mean, it could also have been when they're setting up for the interview, Paul drove past and stopped and said, "Oh, you're right, I'm just doing an interview, Paul, yeah." And the BBC man said, "Oh, hello, do you want to do an interview?" He said, No, not at all, and then driven off. You know, it could have been they'd just seen him drive past a minute ago and she's referring to that. It might not be she's referring to that exact car that went past, you see.
Came past his car then.
He came past in his car then, he says, this guy.
Right, well, Mummy does it this way. I know you haven't seen Paul, we've just seen Paul drive past.
Yeah, he just came past his car then.
So he just came past in his car then. Could mean just before we started this interview, because how would the interviewer know that that was Paul in that red car? How would he assume that? Why would he assume that? Interestingly, this is TikTok Misper again that's uploaded this one to YouTube, so doing the good work there, TikTok Misper. There's no way for the interviewer to see that that's Paul in that car, or if that is Paul in that car. There's no way for any of us to see that. Emma's not focused on the car as it goes past. It doesn't attract her attention, the red car. If that's Paul in the car, then she turns her head and looks at it. You know, oh, look, there's Paul. You know, you can't help it. You just do it. So that's gone. I'm saying that Paul came past in the car maybe before they started the interview. They had a small conversation, and then she's referring to it here. And she's saying to the interviewer, "You've just seen Paul go past in your car, in the car. Not everyone. Not we've just seen Paul go past."
Right, well, Mummy does it this way. I know you haven't seen Paul, we've just seen Paul drive past.
Yeah, he just came past his car then.
Put yourself in Paul's shoes. He's got this underlying worry going on.
So yeah, that's what I feel about that. I think it's less likely that is Paul in the red car, and more likely that he's driven past in the near time space to this interview, and both members of this interview have been made aware of that is Paul in the car just driving past. She doesn't say, "There's Paul." That's not what's happening here. So I think that's a red herring confusion. But in this clip, what's not red herring confusion, what's obvious is fake crying, narcissism, act. Again, she's talking to the BBC News here again. The makeup, the hair, you know, performance, facade, possibly to indicate deception. Yep. I think this Good Morning Britain one's quite big, right? So I think we're going to come back to Good Morning Britain. I think I could do another whole episode on the next 2 minutes of that. Let's watch the rest of this, which I used to support what I was just saying, and see if there's anything else in this. There's a very different angle on her, isn't there? She's got this double chin on this. I don't know why and how this angle reveals this different side to her, but it seems to.
Time for all of you. I mean, this team that's coming in today, you instigated them, didn't you? What are you hoping they're going to find?
Yeah, from when the news bulletin came in on Friday, and the police's hypothesis, and we said it's a theory. We need some evidence to back that theory.
And this looks like the Evening Sun now. I'm saying this isn't the morning anymore. I'm saying she's done the important interview in the morning with This Morning, and I'm saying she's on the job here. She's on the job here. This is like Lancashire News or some shit. Like, this is lower down the list. So she's now had time to refine what she's saying. She's had time to, get her words in order. What's happened to her hair? She's got a big clip. Big hair clip at the back there. Pulled it all up. Big hair clip. Thank you, Sarah Jones, for the $2.99 super chat. With the little avocados. Avocados are becoming a feature on our super chats. Probably because I'm a vegan, isn't it? Sasha deleted a message. I didn't spot it, Sasha, but you don't have to delete your messages. I assume everyone understands that here. Hopefully everything's going well in chat. I seem to, no one's saying, "Oh, I'm being bullied," or anything's going wrong. And I've invited different opinions and said you can discuss things. So I think everything's good. I'm pleased with that. Thank you in chat. Thank you in chat for not letting this get out of hand. Thank you. She looks a little bit cross here as well. She looks a little bit fed up in a way. It might not be the same day as the This Morning interview, actually. I got that wrong. It might be a different day, maybe. This is the Peter Folding has been brought in interview, isn't it? So maybe it's a different day. But she's surely doing a lot of different interviews in the same day.
Of you. I mean, this team that's coming in today, you instigated them, didn't you? What are you hoping?
Ruby K here without a notification. YouTube is a chuffer. I don't know if you have to click a bell as well as subscribe. Like maybe you need to click a little bell next to it as well. But sorry about the notification failures on YouTube. Keeping up. I try and tweet when we're streaming as well. I try and tweet that as well. So I keep up to date with that as well, maybe. Or just, you know, come here every day, all the time, just making sure.
They're going to find.
Yeah, from when the news bulletin came in on Friday and the police's hypothesis, and we said it's a theory, we need some evidence to back that theory up. And then going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding.
So he said going on the media meant going on the internet.
CGI Group, who has this specialist equipment.
It's interesting she mentioned the name of the group, CGI Group, isn't it? CGI is what you would normally use. I hate this when people do this. Oh, we wanted to look at Marsh Farm Hall as well. That's on the list as well. I'll do that for you. Make sure, cause someone sent me a super chat about that. The CGI means computer generated image. Okay. But there is CGI Group here, look, as well. They're an IT consultancy firm. They're big. So you've got these two things already. And why am I talking about computer generated imagery? Or did she suggest it? I don't think she did suggest it. I think it might be in her mind. It might be in her mind. But I think that just this chuffer with the boat, Peter Folding. I don't know. I'm up and down about him sometimes. I'm bobbing up and down. CGI Group. Where's CGI Group then? Oh, it's SGI. Oh my days. No. Emma, no. Oh, I feel so bad. This is like when you're 3-0 up and someone crosses the ball in and the keeper's scrabbling around and you think, well, 4-0 then. I actually feel bad sometimes when I'm like, it's like you're playing FIFA with your mates, 4-0 then. I was going to slate him for using CGI as the name of his company because it's a bad name for your company because it means this other stuff. When actually he didn't do that. He's called Specialist Group International. Still a bit of a shit name. Specialist Group International. Just the big words then. Just big meaningless words. Yeah, but it's SGI, not CGI. And she said CGI. So she's telling me, remember, me and Emma look. That could be the thumbnail. Remember, she's just told us she spent some time on the internet using Steve's favourite word, ostensibly, on the surface to tell us that it's to bring in Peter Folding, an expert in search. This is before we got the full release of the CCTV, isn't it? You like this kiss? Gandalf like the kiss. Don't do it too much. Don't get too close to her. She'll bite your nose off. Hey, work meeting. Peter's great. He might be great. He might be great. I'm up and down sometimes, you know. I think he might be great. Is she a good kisser? No, she's very aggressive. Very aggressive kisser. It's like someone trying to shove the remote control down your throat. The problem we've got here is that she said she's been on the internet looking for these experts. If I'm to assume that she's doctoring or is part of the doctoring of the CCTV, that she's got some expert CCTV CGI expert, that's the expert she'd need for doctoring CCTV. And what she's told me...
Julie Cooper sent tippies. Love your channel, Scott Redheart Hash. Super Chuffer owes 6 hugs.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, I was worried today. I was thinking I'm a bit off the boil this week. might not be making the best content this week. Worried about yesterday's episode that, we did something slightly different. I want to keep the variety coming. I want to make sure I supplement what you enjoy with more stuff you enjoy. I want you to be here watching. I want you to do good work. Are people evil? I thought it was a reasonable episode. Lost 3 subs. So I'm a bit worried that we didn't, the popularity boom, the bubble might have burst. Maybe I'm on the downhill. But no, we're putting in a solid episode today. And there's so much more to go over. This is not my fault. Emma has said this. I didn't know she'd said it yet. But here we are on the internet. Emma has said CGI. She said Peter Folding and his company, CGI Group. And she meant to say SGI Group. But she didn't need to say the company at all. In my mind, it's like a separate... I said, why did she say the company? Peter Folding, comma, company. It's like a list of things. They're both in the same thing in the list. Why are you saying the same thing twice? Because it's not. It's Peter Folding, expert on boats and water to find the keys or the Fitbit. We've got him coming in. Tick. CGI expert to help me with the computer so I get the pictures. Tick. It's like a separate list. She's saying it, not me.
And we said it's a theory. We need some evidence to back that theory up. And then going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding, CGI Group, who has...
CGI Group. Sorry, love. That's another red flag. Sorry, love. It's not my fault. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. You're on the internet doing it. If anyone's got any Emma White videos, if anyone's got any Emma White interviews, record them, rip them. Let's not have them disappear. Everyone do your best to share them, get them out there. I'd like to have a full list of all the Emma White interviews. I'd compile it myself. I'm not hiding behind anything. I will rip all the interviews I can myself now and try and compile an Emma White super cut with all the interviews in one big file. We need that. Don't let them get away. Don't let them disappear. She's going to be aware that this is all... Do you notice they've stopped talking since the funeral? Do you notice since the big push for the money, since the money started to slow down? The GoFundMe's still open, but the money started to slow down. Since the big push for the funeral, now it's all gone quiet. And it's not just quiet, it's media blackout. It's this idea that you starve this story of oxygen, is the idea. That because the media aren't talking about it, because the family aren't talking about it, because Paul isn't talking about it, because Emma's not doing an interview, she's not on Oprah, you starve it of oxygen and then it goes away. It's the same with like a random example, if anyone in chat understands this. Conor Benn recently popped for drugs tests, and what they didn't do was do a big press conference saying, I'm sorry, I popped for drugs tests. What they did do, it was the same as when he did Happy Feet. This made me so angry. Conor Benn Happy Feet. Conor Benn Happy Feet. You just have to Google it. Conor Benn Happy Feet. And last time I showed this on stream, I got the copyright strikes and everything. But Conor Benn showed this image of a deformed baby's feet to ridicule a boxer that he was potentially fighting, because that boxer had suffered with the same deformity as a child. So that was fucking awful. And what happened was Conor Benn, problematic. Ridiculing the disabled. Problematic. And then all of a sudden, Eddie Hearn announced he's broke his jaw in sparring. Tough lad. Broke his jaw in sparring. He'll be away for about 6 months while it heals. Oh, that's convenient, because now the story is starved of oxygen. We don't talk about him. He's off you can't interview him. You can't talk about it. Do your little Happy Feet things. Let it go away. He did his little apology. I'm so sorry. Months later. Let it go away. Months later, you come back. And the story is starved of oxygen. It's fine. You can move on. This is like a media technique. And they're doing it with the Nicola Bulley case. It's weird that the mainstream media, who are so desperate and cloying for all this attention, they lost the battle with media in the Nicola Bulley case. The TikTokers, people like me, not so much with my 20,000 views, but some of the bigger YouTubers got a lot more views. And if you want the Nicola Bulley story on the day, some people are checking the news. Some people are waiting for the BBC to do it at 10 o'clock in the evening. Some people are on Sky News. Most people are on the internet getting the real truth from people that discuss it. Most people are looking at the news and using it as a start point to say, do we believe this? Can we discuss it? Most people are on the social media these days. The news and their numbers are down and the social media are up. So it's obvious to me that they've gone media blackout to choke social media so that we can't keep talking about it. We don't have things to react to. And they're trying to control the narrative in that way. Media blackout. Choke it of oxygen. Well, let's hope they don't delete all the old ones that are out there, because like this is like enough oxygen to take us to Mars and back. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is enough oxygen for Elon Musk to start a big bubble on Mars. Like, this is Emma White telling me that she's been on the internet searching and then mentioning CGI. Like, what are you doing, Emma? Like, talk about fumbling the ball, fumbling the bag. Jesus Christ, do you think they're waiting for the life insurance? I don't think they are, April. I think that they've written that off, because in these cases, when the coroner gets involved, you don't get the life insurance in certain aspects. You know, I think it's different. I think it's not so much money. I think they want to profit from it, of course. You know, I think they're greedy. I think Emma herself is especially greedy. But I think it was more about simply a crime of, like, my belief is about a crime. I hope it's not a drug deal thing, and, you know, someone's been held and tortured until people pay the money. I hope it's not that, but it could be a crime of passion based on an affair. Why has Eddie deleted his videos? He said why. He thinks he's in touch with their dad or some shit. I mean, I don't know that. He thinks he's in email contact with Nicola's dad, is what he sort of alluded to in his video, I think. So that's what I think. I mean, you can ask me and I'll tell you what I think. But I don't think that he's in contact with her dad. I think that he thinks he's in contact with her dad. Apparently, he's told us he's been in, you know, not complaints and harassment from the family, but that he's had an open dialogue with someone on email. And if I have an open dialogue on someone on email, I don't even know who it is. So I've not had either. No one's emailed me, but that's what Eddie reported on his channel. I'm not saying he's telling lies. I'm saying on my channel, I report facts. So, like, I'm showing you something, I can show you the facts. I don't want you to say to me, what's going on with Eddie, and me say something. Now I'm caught up in a conversation, a drama. And if you want to know, ask Eddie, basically. I'm not saying don't ask me, fuck off. I'm saying, but I don't, you know, I can't report facts that I don't know, can I? So, just be, you know, I'm just careful about certain things. It's weird, isn't it? Because I'm not careful about saying whether she did a murder. But then she's not careful about saying CGI, is she, the idiot?
And we said it's a theory. We need some evidence to back that theory up. And then going on the media, we saw this guy, Peter Folding, CGI Group, who has this specialist equipment, they've got expertise in running this device. The sonar device can come along on the bed and pick up a little stone.
She looks tired at this juncture. It looks like something's got her down over the course of the day on this one. I don't know why or what, you know. She looks different. She looks tired.
I thought, well, how do we get in contact with her? We need this guy in St. Michael's.
I couldn't be happier.
John sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you. I appreciate it. Marianne, I appreciate your kind words in chat. I believe in honesty, and I believe that if you are always honest, you can't be caught out in a lie. So that's good. But at the same time, like, I'm only some chuffer on the internet saying what I think. So, like, my credentials are, I'm just some chuffer on the internet. Take everything on the internet with a pinch of salt. I mean, obviously, I encourage you to believe in me. Obviously, you know, I'm grateful for that you do. But I hope that I'm not, you know, just take everything, you know, just be careful on the internet, isn't it? Because I'm not saying you need to be careful of me, but I'm saying in general, like, you know, the internet, isn't it? Will Super Chuffer stick his tongue up her nose? My tongue gets cut off right at the point of her nose. Look, that's where my camera finishes, right at the point of her nose. We're in a work meeting. I was in a work meeting seeing if I could get my tongue right up her nose.
Now, and that's not undermining all the work that the police have done. They've been in...
Gandalf says she's head nodding, trying to get the words out as if she's lying. Yeah, I think I could give a bit more of it. Like, we've done a few hours. My brain this week didn't quite feel like sharp necessarily, and now I'll be honest with you. When I'm on and I'm hot, you know, I think we've been hot. You know, it's not saying this, like we're on till. We've got another 20 minutes at least of the episode. We're going to watch some more stuff. Might come up, you know, you don't know, but I think we've been hot, so I'm going to come back and do this again. I like to review these things twice because you see other things. This hair down was a huge thing. I haven't even, you know, had a big chat about the hair down on this one. Should I keep it up? Should I put it down? And look how it looks. You know, it's not like Nicola's hair, is it? But it is like Nicola's hair, isn't it? Or at least it looks like that hair on the CCTV. Anyway, interesting stuff. So much interesting stuff that I don't want to overload it. And you know, my brain, it's like, you know, once you've done your exams Once you've done your exams, you need a thought break in the middle. And I feel like I've done a good solid chunk, so I will miss things now. I can guarantee it. We need to go over it again, yeah.
Days, what we're hoping is that this guy coming along can offer a fresh eyes and can support what.
We need to hope that this guy coming along can offer a fresh eyes. She means to say a fresh set of eyes, but she says a fresh eyes. So I'm a bit thrown by that, and I think if I was sharp, I might have something to like focus in on. But at the moment, I'm grasping. But a fresh eyes, it's a singular. She's using a singular, but she means to use a plural. There's a disconnect, an incongruence. It's making me wonder about this punch to the eye that Paul might have taken, or her eyes might have taken a battering, and that's why the heavy makeup is on. Right, this heavy makeup could be concealing bruises. You don't know. I'm not an expert in makeup, but I believe you can conceal bruises. So the heavy makeup could be that, and like, you know, she's wearing that heavy eye makeup so you can't see the bruising. Instead of covering it, like, how do you cover up bruising around your eyes? Well, you make it look like it's makeup. You put heavy dark makeup on, because there's a limit to how, like, you can't put foundation on your eyelid, can you? Jeannie with the $5 super chat, thank you very much. And Maria King with the £10 super chat, thank you very much. Appreciating it there at the top of the leaderboard there. Got some super stickers, get good. And happy lemon. Happy cheeky lemon. And I've got to get rid of that Tinder bot. Thank you, Tinder bot. Obviously, you're gone. It's not the best chat. I don't know why you... we've got the best chat here. I've got the best chat. Check Eddie's videos. All gone, says Dylan Fowler. Eddie said in his last upload that if a member of the family left a comment under the video, he would remove them. So he might be following through with that. In his belief that a member of the family has been in contact with him, that I have not verified myself, but that's the story that's out there. Eddie sold out. Do you know what? If someone offered me money for these videos, I would seriously consider it. No joke of a lie. You know, we've all got to make a buck here. I want to push my media onto the next level. And if someone offered me life-changing money, instead of being murdered, I'd take the money. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to give up my integrity for money. That's not an option. But I'm a media producer and I produce media. And if you want to buy my media, I have to entertain that concept. Much better than the MI5 kill me, I'll tell you that. But interesting stuff, you know. I can't comment any further than that. I don't know Eddie and I don't know what's going on with his channel. It's an interesting thing that is happening, isn't it? It's an interesting thing that's happening. So, like, I'm not suggesting that he's doing it. It's weird to do it to draw attention to your channel when the things that people are going there for have been removed. That would be strange. Unless maybe he makes another video in the future and then lots of people are looking out for it. It might not be a plan at all. It might be everything he said is legit. It might be that everything he said he thinks is legit, and it might be that it's not legit, but he thinks it's legit. I don't know. I've told you what I think there. That's what goes on in my mind. That's all I can do, I suppose. Give you the benefit of my thought process. And, you know, we'll see in time. From what I understand, from what Eddie said in his content, he is not a true crime person and he makes videos about old songs, and he was intending to make his channel about old songs and to return to old songs. So maybe he's just had enough of it. He's been very, talking of respect and disrespect in chat there, he's been very respectful toward me and he's been very kind towards the things I've said in my channel. So I am equally kind and respectful to him. Like, absolutely fine with that. You know, do you want me to give him my seal of approval? Well, up to a certain point, up to the same as I do with most people on the internet. I don't know him, so obviously I'm not saying you can leave. You know, you can't leave your car keys with him and then say it's I said to do it. Like, although I would probably trust most people with my car keys. You know, I'm trying to be really diplomatic here. I think he seems like a decent chuffer. I don't know him. Okay. So yeah, so that's what I've got to say about that. I want to finish off this. Play this.
The police have been doing.
Real quick lick of the lips there.
And can support what the police have been doing.
Oh, that's a bad one, Emma. You ready for this? Do it, Emma. Do it. Frame. There it is. Look at the tongue. Oh, look at that. Give it some, Emma. Give it some on the tongue, Emma. Give him that tongue. Give it. Go on, Emma. Work meeting. Get that tongue going out, Emma. What am I doing? Stop it. In the work meeting, that's a micro expression. You know, that's a push the tongue out, confidence, aggression, like children do it, condescension. You know, literally like pushing your tongue out at you. Like, not a lick of the lips, that one, necessarily. I think at this point she's tired, and she's doing that to the person that she's being interviewed by, like, fuck you.
Finding all the work that the police have done. They've been in that river 10 days. What we're hoping is that this guy coming along...
So this is after this morning, isn't it? Because this is 10 days. That was seven days. So they've been in the river 10 days. So she's more tired now. She's more fed up. They're bringing in folding after 10 days. And they've been in that river 10 days and not turned up this piece of evidence that she's hoping for. So they're bringing in folding. That plays into what I was saying as well. That shot of Emma with her legs open, I don't know which one that is.
Can offer a fresh eyes and can support what the police have been doing.
Can offer fresh eyes and support what the police have been doing. There's that fresh eyes thing again. Fresh eyes. The music's playing something really beautiful now. One day, if you've ever got the opportunity, play The Outer Wilds. The music's playing the music from it. It's one of the best pieces of music ever. From a video game. It means a lot to me in my heart. Just a little tip there. Play The Outer Wilds if you ever get the chance. I had a really meaningful experience over that video game. The top tip is you've got to stop and smell the pines. In your life, you've got to stop and smell the pines. Yeah, if you ever get the opportunity, you know, when you get those opportunities, take the time to stop and smell the pines. Yeah, so back to Emma White.
There's part of you as well, though, that's kind of hoping they don't find anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I meant, obviously. For the first minute of my interview, I was talking about finding these little indications that she's dead. But obviously what I mean is, I hope they don't find her and that she's not dead.
Family, how are you all coping?
Yeah, well, and look at this for an expression. The eyebrows go up.
All coping.
She's got her eyes closed when she does it.
Yeah, ultimately what...
And there's like condescension as she looks off into the side. Like, I think in a way, she's not doing much of a performance. She's like, yeah, you got me on that one. I should have said that. But fuck you, because this is your Lancashire news. You're not the fucking Sky News. So you think you're so clever with your clever question. Well, fuck you. No one's even watching this news broadcast on this channel. You whatever.
It's kind of hoping they don't find anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all coping?
Yeah, ultimately want that hypothesis to be proved.
And she called them a family. How are you all coping? She's not in the family.
Anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all...
She cuts her off.
There's part of you as well, though, that's kind of hoping they don't find anything, isn't it? I mean, how
absolutely.
are you as a family?
Like, she tries to interject while the interviewer's doing her question. Emma tries to interject, cut off the interviewer. The interviewer won't be cut off and continues talking.
How are you all coping?
And Emma pulls her face, like she raises her eyebrows. She thinks, fuck you. Like, she did a little twitch of the eyes and raised the eyebrows. It's an aggressive foot. She's even doing that tilt. You can see just slightly a tilt forward in the head here that she does in other interviews, which indicates aggression. She's nodding, yeah. But the default position, finally at the end, moving, shifting on her feet. And there's that raise of the eyebrows, shifting on the feet. They say an unsteady position, an unsteady base, indicative of deception. The deception would be, we're trying to find her alive. The raise of the eyebrows, there's a lot in that. Aggression, deception, condescension, There's a lot in that.
Yeah, I ultimately want that hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it, and I think we're all...
And she moves off it really quick. Ultimately, we want that hypothesis to be proved wrong, and shaking her head. It's like, that's the correct answer. Yeah, obviously we want the hypothesis to be proved wrong. Anyway, back to me and my emotional plea. I think actually what she's doing is they've come up with a contrived way to emotionally plea for money, where they don't go on telly and they say, we've got a GoFundMe, give me money on my GoFundMe. But what they do is they say, Peter's coming in with his expensive equipment, and I'm so desperate to try and find just a tiny thing of a jigsaw, a tiny piece of a jigsaw as well. You're not going to give me £1 million yourself, but you can give me £1 and 1 million of you can do it. 1 million. So let's have £1 million, please. Tiny pieces of jigsaws come together to make me a big picture. That's wrapped up in it as well. And I think she's exasperated and tired. And so she sort of, yeah, fucking, of course you want to find her. Anyway, look, back to my script,
Don't find
I think it's a manipulation.
anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all coping?
Yeah, I ultimately want that hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it, and I think
we just can't describe it. Gets a shrug of the shoulders, a shrug. That's a bad indication for deception. And I don't know if she was on Noel's house party, Deirdre. Maybe she was Mr. fucking Blobby. You could imagine it, couldn't you? So I'm saying that signs of deception, the shrug.
Hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it.
And she said, how are you coping as a family? And she didn't correct her on that family thing. I don't know if that's going through her mind or not. I don't know if she's thinking of Paul and the family or the kids, or if she's thinking of her family. But really strange for it to be said like that, and for her to not sort of say, no, I'm not the family. They're the family. But yeah.
Hoping they don't find anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all coping?
Yeah, I ultimately want that hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it, and I think we're all feeling the same thing. It's just this roller coaster emotion.
We can't describe it. It's difficult to describe. I'm having trouble describing it. These are my feelings, but I've got other feelings too. But I can't describe it, as in I'm not allowed to. Can't keep my mouth shut. We can't describe it. But I think everyone else is feeling the same way too. What? If you're an empathetic person or whatever, of course everyone's feeling the same. What do you mean you think? Of course they're feeling the same. You're all worried and you want Nicola to come back. I think they might be, because I've done my work on them. I'm assuming that I've done enough work on them. I assume they don't think I've done it. I think they think what I think they should think. That we're getting into weird territory there, thinking what people think, not just assuming everyone feels the same, because obviously they would.
There's part of you as well, though, that's kind of hoping.
The roller coaster come up again. Good point, Deirdre. I'm going to try to get through this a little bit quick now, because I'm aware that we're going to have to go back over this another time as well, even. But we're covering this quick now. But you're right to pick out the roller coaster. Paul mentioned the roller coaster as well. Somebody suggested Blackpool has a roller coaster. The roller coaster is in this as a feature now in many of these interviews, so it needs to be examined and critiqued. Assuming the up and downs of a roller coaster, assuming the up and downs of emotions, but also assuming, for me, adrenaline rush. We're assuming some sort of, people scream on a roller coaster. I think Emma likes the wild ride. I think she likes it rough. I think she likes the excitement of being outside the law. I think she likes the thrill of being caught. Obviously, eventually she did get caught. That's how they've ended up in this shit. But the thrill of being, I didn't mean caught shagging Paul. I meant caught. But you know what I mean? I think this is part of her persona. Put me on blast if I'm wrong. I'm allowed to have my thoughts. Hello behind the sash and crown.
And they don't find anything, isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all coping?
Yeah, I ultimately want that hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it, and I think we're all feeling the same thing. It's just this roller coaster of emotions, and
a face of disgust. I don't know what she's about to say now, but a face of disgust. I mean, obviously I recorded this from that TikToker who I said had their timestamp, their thing, who recorded it from Lancashire News. Unedited, just put it up there. So it's not like, AD, he's not gonna like it. Oh, you're recording things and putting them up on your channels. You can get fucked. But I have seen it, but I can't remember what she's about to say. But this, it's like, no, she goes into like a grimace. Look, mouth down without this upper head here. Mouth down could be, well, maybe. No, I'm not so sure. I don't know. Mouth down could be all this sort of stuff. But thank you, Pink Soda, for the $3.99. Avocado with a coffee cup. For this, it's not mouth down as in doubt. I'm not sure. Maybe it's mouth down and eyebrows up and evil, and it actually reveals in this upper part of the eye. This is quite interesting, isn't it? Computer enhance. Computer enhance. Computer. All right, I'll do it then. I'll have to do it. The computer doesn't. We saw that on the telly when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was all computer enhanced on the telly, and I thought when I grow up, I'll be like Tom Cruise doing the computer in the air. Computer enhanced. It's not like that, is it, these days? But there you go. Computer enhanced. Give her a kiss up the nose. Computer enhanced. Ladies in chat, men in chat, if you use eyeshadow, somebody please tell me, is it just the light? This dark patch, when she's raised her eyebrows up like that, as you can see me and my face here, when I raise my eyebrows, you get a view under my eyelids that's usually wrinkled over. You know, computer enhance, my eye. Yeah, you see like the skin reveals what's underneath when I raise and lower my eyelid. Yeah, trying to do it quite a lot there so that it really covers it and really, you know, I am tired as a general person. I've got eyes. See what I'm saying? You see more of what's really underneath in the eye there, don't you? In the eye. Yeah. As I raise and frown and furrow or whatever. See more of my eyes. I think. You tell me in chat. Is that normal eye makeup? Is that a mark on her inner upper eyelid? Is it the sort of mark that would be hidden by dark makeup? Is it dark makeup? I'm no expert. I just see it and I see it and think that looks weird. Is it the shadow of the light? Says Sally Nicholson. It's the shadow of the light. Heavy makeup. I'm going to give you a poll on this one because I want to know what your thoughts are. I don't know. So you'll tell me what you think it could be and I'll tell you what it, you tell me. So I'm going to say shadow. I'm going to say bruise is what I thought, is a worry. I'm going to add another option, which is some sort of makeup abnormality. And I'm going to ask you, if you don't think it's any, like, you need to see an open mouth like that. I wonder if that would do it. I wonder if I change my thumbnail to that. I wonder if that would do it. I like just like classic picture of thing. I'm quite a not a traditionalist, but I just like a nice classic picture of thing. Words that say thing. Don't have to go too mad. So yeah, what are we doing? I just got completely out of touch with my own brain there for a minute. The bishop says you wouldn't touch her with someone else's. The cucumber meme is in chat now. Someone's pulling out their cucumbers. Mascara Aggression says if you can't be nice, be naughty. I put the be naughty bit on though. So.
Isn't it? I mean, how are you as a family? How are you all coping?
Yeah, ultimately we want that hypothesis to be proved wrong. We just can't describe it, and I think we're all feeling the same thing. It's just this roller coaster of emotions, and
it's like disgust. The thing you can't describe that's part of a roller coaster of emotions. It's not sadness, I'm about to cry. It's not worry, I'm anxious. It's not fear even. They're going to catch me. It's disgust. You disgust me. Is it the children doing the crying and needing taken care of? Is it Paul himself, who is no longer your sexy man friend, who, is now like a scared worm? Or is it Nicola? Is it the corpse of Nicola? Have you had to do something with Nicola's corpse yourself recently and that disgusts you and you've got that in your mind? What is causing this extreme disgust that you can't describe, that you assume the whole family feels? I'm thrown for a curveball here. Maybe it's because I'm at the end of the show and I'm, mentally checked out a little bit now in terms of hardcore body language analysis after 3 hours. But I'm still finding things that are huge red flags. That face. Check out the gurn, says Neil. A lot of you in chat are quite pleased with this face. Maybe that should be the thumbnail. I'm a bully, says Dawn. I'm not a bully. She's on the internet, right? This woman's gone missing and has turned up dead. Yeah? She's on the internet saying all this stuff about it, and she looks well sus. Well sus. I'm not like out there just bullying people left, right and centre. Like we do detracting on Darkside Phil. You should see the stuff that goes on talking about Darkside Phil. He gets the lickings of a dog. When people come out on the internet and are well sus, or do like a GoFundMe, like something disgusting, gratuitous for money, and like when I suspect them of murder, I'll call them the fuck out. That's what it is. I'm not a bully. Like, you're in here talking your talk, saying what you think about me. Carry on. That's cool. Be here. Don't nobody give a shit in chat if she's saying negative about me. Don't anyone give a shit. I don't believe it. I've given you my comeback. You're welcome to stay. That's cool. It's cool. You've said your bit. I've said my bit. Fair enough. Like if I was a I think the bullies are the people that murdered Nicola Bulley and fucked her off up the canal, up the little culvert bit, and then stuffed her in the river. I think the bullies are the ones that ruined Nicola's daughter's children's lives. They're the bullies. I think Paul Ansell's the bully. I think Nicola would attest that Emma White's the bully. I'm just a fucking chuffer on the internet, mate. Let's crack on.
It's just a funny feeling, but we've all got this funny feeling that we can't describe. We still have that hope. That's why we're here. We're out as a community. We did a Facebook page last night, social media, hashtag Bring Nikki Home. We're doing everything you can just to get those two little girls, their mummy, back where she belongs.
Thank you so much for speaking to...
Big smile at the end again. She always gives that big smile at the end, doesn't she? Which is inappropriate at best, or a signal of guilt at worst. And choosing her words carefully. But what does she say here?
Did a Facebook page last night, social media.
I was
we still have
zoning
that
out.
hope. That's why we're here. We're out as a community.
It's all right. Look, I know you don't want people to slag me off, right, the Bishop. But what we're going to get sometimes is people are going to come here with different opinions, so different they're angry at me. Like, bear in mind, I haven't done anything to Nicola. Bear in mind, I've made like several hundred videos over the time that I've been on the internet. This is just a part of some of what we've done, and I've focused mainly on the body language, so I know where I'm coming from and everything. You're still going to get people come in and be like eggy about it. Just take the rough with the smooth. It's fine. I get people coming here saying I'm the bee's knees. Same thing. Like, take the rough with the smooth. I don't believe either. I'm not the bee's knees. I'm not some bully. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm a normal person. I'm okay with it. Don't let it egg you. Don't let it get you eggy. There's no need. It's going to happen. So knowing it's going to happen, you can either be like eggy now, really angry because it's going to happen, or let's agree that we let it go when it happens. We're already prepared now. It's going to happen. We can let it go. So other people might have a different approach in chat, mightn't they? A lesser back heel. But hopefully we encourage a fair and even conversation. Yeah.
Did a Facebook page last night, social media, hashtag Bring Nikki Home. We still have that hope. That's why we're here. We're out as a community. We did a Facebook.
So she's listing these things again. We still have that hope. That's why we're here. It's off the script. And then she kind of goes off the script here.
Page last night, social.
We did a Facebook page, social media.
It's a funny feeling, but we've all got this funny feeling that we can't describe. We still have that hope. That's why we're here. We're out as a community. We did a Facebook page last night, social media.
So the community didn't do that Facebook page last night, social media. That's not we out as a community. That's her at home did that. She's listing these things that are being done. And we did a Facebook page, social media.
Hashtag Bring Nikki Home.
Hashtag Bring Nikki Home. Hashtag Bring Nikki Home. It's almost going up at the end, right? It's a troubling thing because deceit, indicative, Australian question intonation. You know Australian question intonation? When the things you say at the end turn into questions and you row up at the end. And that's indicative of deceit sometimes because you're sort of not saying your thing is a fact. I believe this, it's a fact, I know it. But you're saying, I believe this, it's a fact, I know it. Do you agree? So there's a problem with that slightly.
Take you home. We're doing everything you can just to get those 2 little girls their mummy back.
We're doing everything we can just to get those 2 little girls their mummy back. This is, I believe, they've come up with this. It's weeks after now, so we've got different ways to look at it and think of it. I believe it's part of an advertising campaign, a marketing campaign. You know, we're going to look at Marsh Farm Hall just before we finish because it was requested. Emma's in the world of presentation and marketing, you know, the wedding venue. And I believe that she understands that when she's doing these interviews, it's not just what she's saying in terms of trying to get Nicola. Well, it's not about getting Nicola home because Nicola's dead. Yeah, and I think she knows it. But I think it's about presenting a certain image and style of conversation, and about marketing the idea that, you know, you're bringing up this narrative, this emotional language about these poor little girls who are at home and their mummy. You don't, not their mom or the matriarch of this family or any grown-up language. Their mummy, and you know, you're appealing in a way, aren't you, to people's emotions. At the end of this interview, what do you want to make sure you did? I want to make sure, instead of Nicola, if you're out there, please come home, which we always, you know, constantly forget to bring up over and over. I did it on the first couple of run-throughs, but we're later on now. But it should be noted, 10 days down the line, looking into camera, Nicola, if you're out there, please come home. None of that. Instead, oh, these little girls are missing their mummy. Please go fund me. You know, she can't drag the little girls out to have them cry on camera, so she talks about them and brings them up. And like puts them out in front at the end. They're the last thing that she brings up, so you think about them. And it's kind of like using the children. Why are you using the children? To gain sympathy, to solicit donations. Because it doesn't help to find Nicola. To lay that on at the end about these poor children missing their mummy doesn't help to find Nicola. It's actually using the children's name in the interview. Like, not the name, not the photograph, but it's bringing the children up. Like, I have not brought the children up in my work. I think that's a bit wrong. I've not shown you where Nicola's house is because that's where the children might live. Think it's a bit wrong. Paul and his GoFundMe has superimposed an image of himself on top of an image of Nicola and the children. Right? I'm not showing it. It's out there. It's on Twitter. You know, you go and find out. Paul has superimposed an image of himself on a picture of Nicola and the children for their GoFundMe. Yeah? That's out there. I'm not showing it you because it's got Nicola's children on it, for Christ's sake. But the people that are involved at their end, Paul, Emma, are using doctored photographs of the children to solicit money. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've not brought the children into it. It's not necessary for us as true crimers, as people trying to find Nicola. Back then, hoping she's alive, trying to find Nicola. It's not necessary to bring the children into it for every aspect of the conversation, so we keep them out of it. Because for Christ's sake, they're children and they've lost their mom. Emma has thrown them up into the mix at the end as an emotional plea. For who? Is Nicola out there watching this and thinking, oh God, you've reminded me about the children, I'd better come home? Is there someone out there who's kidnapped her who wasn't going to let them come home, but now you've heard that about the kids, I'll let her come home? Or is it simply that she wants more money because she's leveraging children's... It's like Rua, bang on. Emotional manipulation. Emotional damage. Emotional manipulation. That's what it is, isn't it? And it drips from her tongue so fluid. So easy, so vile. Yeah, I'm disgusted, actually, when I think about it. We all let it go because at first you think, oh, those poor children. I agree. Poor children. I'm on the side of the poor children. And you forget that you're being emotionally manipulated. But when you see it for what it is, it's disgusting to use those children in this way. It certainly doesn't help find Nicola. And it certainly doesn't need to punctuate this interview. I might be wrong. Tell me in chat. Zen Bumblebee spotted emotional damage. Emotional damage! Got the memes. Oh, I got the memes. I used to watch a lot of Uncle Roger. Yeah, Brum Vixen, you'll have to catch up. This has been a bit of a big one. I'll tell you what, actually. We're coming up to signing off. We're going to watch a bit of Marsh Farm Hall to see if Emma's got a hip problem. And then we're going to sign off. But wow, we've hit some real big, heavy... I didn't realise, like I was saying, I was a bit worried, in fact. You know, I'm going to keep making content. I hope people watch. You know, I hope I've got something to bring to the table, something of value. I thought the Nicola Bulley story was winding down because media silence, choke them of oxygen, wait for the inquest. No, there's a load more here. And I actually think, you know, turn me out, turn me loose on something else. Show me something that everyone's watched and hasn't. I'll pick some. I found this. I didn't know I could. I just feel like I'm on a bit of a roll here. I think things are going well. I think maybe I should review the Madeleine McCann stuff again. I think I should review that Prince Andrew interview. You know, and I bet the next time someone comes forward with an emotional appeal, or the next time someone's on the internet, you know, having done something bad and is apologising in their video crying, I think we do a body language, and I think this is the place you come. You certainly don't go back to the body language panel, do we? Because like they were talking chuff, the behaviour panel. Like, no offence to them, but like yeah, and I feel like strong about that. I feel good, feel happy, feel like, you know, we've done some good stuff today. Super Chuffer channel, subscribe. You know, get that number up. Let me share that joy with the world. Push that number up. Thank you everyone in chat today as well. Thank you everyone, because you chuffers helped me get there with some of this stuff. Without you, I didn't get there with it. Not just the numbers and the views and the YouTube, but literally the ideas, the sharing and the talking and the thinking and the ideas. Some of you have really helped. And I've been open to everyone's ideas as well today. I hope that I've not been mean to people who have got different ideas. Obviously, I'm not going to always share everyone's ideas. That's just how it is. So, like, let's just let Emma finish off and then let's look at her hips.
Subscribe. We still have that hope. That's why we're here. We're out as a community. We did a Facebook page last night, social media, hashtag Bring Nikki Home. We're doing everything you can just to get those two little girls, their mummy, back where she belongs.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Yeah,
to get their mummy back where she belongs. I really could pick up more on that. You know, maybe we should come back to that another time, because I'm sure there's a lot in to get their mummy back. Not Nicola, doesn't state her name. Back where she belongs, not home. Where does she belong? She might belong in the fucking river for all you care. You know, maybe she's still thinking, I've got to move Nicola into the river. That's where she needs to be found. Like, maybe there's more to that. I'm not going to... No, I'm ready to move off this now, but I think I could watch this one again and do another one on it. And I think we need to finish this one, because I only did 2 minutes of this. So we're at 1 minute 40 in that. We come back and we do the rest of that. That's definite. That's on the cards. We still got Penny and Ron to look at. We've still got the police and their press conferences to look at, and any other interviews that can be found, any other, you know, different views of someone on a camera doing some talking about this case. I am happy to review. Happy to do so. And we've got to re-review some of these things as well, with some of the things we've learned today, I believe. That's all on the cards as well. Let's check out Marsh Farm Hall. It's one of my favourite places to go on the internet. And you can look at this video, but if you want, you can watch it on YouTube. And if you watch it on YouTube, you can see this is on YouTube, E-White, Fee Chow 26, 21 subscribers, 3 videos, including Sports Day with your children. That's your children's face on the thumbnail there. I haven't done that, you have. A weird video about a dog going to London. Some playlists about princesses and pirates and children's videos. Assuming that that's children watching this. These are the channels they're subscribed to. These are the channels that they are subscribed to. So they're subscribed to some children's channels like PBJ Kids. 16 years ago, that is. This is old channel, this one, Nursery Rhymes. So maybe the kids used to like the nursery rhymes. Maybe they haven't unsubscribed. Say God Bless America, Jeannie asked me to do. God Bless America. No problem with saying that. God bless America. God bless us, one and all. It's interesting looking at the channels that people subscribe to, isn't there? Horsies.
Hello guys, and welcome to the very exciting vlog, which is camp. I've just arrived at the ponies. Everything, as you can see, is all packed up. I almost forgot my tea.
It makes me wonder sometimes, because this is a real person in the UK. So are they related to Emma in any way? Are they a friend, or is it just someone that they like watching the horses? You know, there's something to unpack on every channel, isn't there? I don't know. And who's doing the subscribing and who's running the channel? Because there's a funny combination of like Britain's Got Talent. Who's this? This isn't something the kids watch.
Welcome to markandrewthompson.com or tomodj.com if you've come in via another link.
So, no offence, Mark Thompson, I'm not saying that you're wrapped up in this case. I'm just saying that the people who run the channel that Emma has got her videos on, Emma's channel or her husband's channel or their family's channel, they're watching you play your drums. So, you know, that's different, isn't it? Compared to horses and children's stuff. So, like, little girl playing the violin, I assume children, you know, children like the videos of the little girl playing the violin. I'm assuming it's not dad likes the videos of the little girl. She's looking a bit more grown up now, I suppose. Thank God. But not grown up enough. So, you know, I'm assuming it's children that like this and not dad. But cool, she's playing a violin. It's a bit of a weird amalgamation of like things that are subscribed to, like I said. So I haven't been through it all. There's a lot of horses I'm seeing, and there's some stuff that I would say is off the telly. And then there's some stuff the kids like. There's Lizzo there, Lizzo. There's Chester Zoo. The shows must go on. Celebrating all things theatre on YouTube. So theatrical flair there. Maybe someone likes the theatre. It's a bit like Through the Keyhole, this, isn't it? It's a bit like Through the Keyhole. You have to, like, you know, see what information's... she duets with Daniel Vitali on the sax super chuffer. Does she? Too much rambling, I quit, says Wills. Well, this is at the end of the episode. We're going to finish on a little bit of decompression. Wills has quit out anyway, but this is how you find things. Obviously, I should find them first and then bring them to you, maybe. But you know, you might find something here. It's just a little bit of the way my thoughts process work. So you might find some interesting stuff in this, or you might not. You know, it's just interesting to me. So shut the fuck up and fuck off. If sorry, I got a bit aggressive there towards the end there, but who was it that said it?
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Paul's Attic sent tippies. Cheers,
joking.
mate. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Paul's Attic. What's in Paul's Attic? 3 hugs from me. I was joking. I'm not going to get aggressive with people for saying they're bored of my ramblings, but you know, this is how it works. This is how it works. So interesting stuff there. Different. There's a pastor. Worship videos we use at our church. Pastor Lauren.
Gaza has suffered immeasurably.
Shut up, you, with your charity. What the fuck? You can use these for your church. Have we got a church involvement here? Is that what we're saying? It doesn't say which church. Coleridge Family Church, it says, but they can't find the site. Coleridge Family Church. I'm assuming that's some American chuffer, and it's not a local St. Michael's thing. But church videos subscribed on this. Someone decided to subscribe on that. It could be the kids wanted to sing these songs, or it could be something else. Yeah, interesting combination of people they're subscribed to. And then this is what we're looking at.
Farm Hall. My name's Emma. We're going to take a little tour of the venue today. Welcome.
Does she have a hip problem? And I guess the suggestion is, I mean, the first thing is I can't see her feet, so she could be standing on like a step. But the suggestion is, as she turns here and moves, instead of walking like a normal person, she sort of hoists up the left-hand side of her hip. Up, and there we go. See what I mean? Right, up, and there we go. She sort of hoists it over with the hip. She might have had a bad leg, or a bad hip from riding the horses, or maybe Paul's been riding her. Just say the things. I don't make them up. I just, you know, I just say them. Where's the music? It's hard to say. I'll tell you the problem. It's because I can't see the legs. Because I'm looking at it just from the upper body and knees upwards.
Welcome.
Like there's definitely a lifting up of her body that looks like she's like hoying that hip around and over, like you would swing your way onto a horse in a way. Yeah, I see that, but also I don't see if there's a step that she's going up, and I don't see if, like, the thing I'm not able to ascertain, it's just from one small movement. So we've got the sports day, of course, where she gets angry at the video.
I don't know. Okay, go on.
Okay, go on. And then she's like, fucking, can you not just video me? Might be her dad, or it might be her husband.
Okay, go on.
She gets angry. She looks back in anger. Don't look back in anger. I heard you say, so Sally Kuwait. She knows it too late. Oh, we're walking. Okay, but she look, different hair again. Looks like a real crop, doesn't it? This is during lockdown. I think she's got it tied back or something. You know, she's going in for the sports day. She doesn't want her hair messing about. She's going in for sports day, serious here. But yeah, she's angry. She's very militant in this. She's very hench. She looks very strong. She comes across as very meek and very small and very timid and, you know, fragile and petite in a lot of the media. But here, you know, at home for reals, she looks a lot more capable and strong, doesn't she? And we see her running here. So I don't see any hip problems there while she's running. But she does have a very sort of hench stride. We looked at this in terms of marrying it up with the CCTV, of course. Check out the, now they're all on the planner, on the playlist. All the CCTV video investigation that we did is on there. So there's her running. I do see her splaying her feet out. I see her taking quite a hench stride. She looks a lot...
Okay, go on.
She looks a lot stronger in that, like, back end. Excuse where my mouse is. You know, this part of her body, her torso looks all a bit more... You know, she's not so svelte and petite as you think.
I couldn't be happier.
She's a tank.
And then whoosh!
Phantasmic Ether sent tippies. Love your channel. Always a fantastic analysis, intelligent commentary. Thank you for your hard work, witty banter. One of a kind, always valuable voice. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 3 hugs coming your way. Phantasmic Ether. Farm woman, says the bishop. Yeah, I get that feeling. Horsey lady, you know, physically capable. Has to be. She's got 3 kids and a farm to run. You know, not dissing her for that. Just, I think it's a different image to the way she presents on media. And then there's also this footage of her jumping. So what's happening is the children are jumping. I'm not showing you the children, but this is, the children's heads are cut off so you can't see them. This is an example of her encouraging the children.
Fantastic, Ella! Go, Ella! Go, Ella! Go, go, go! Ella, go! Ella, go! Go, go, go!
So she's making a bit of a competitive thing of it. The kids do their bit, and then Emma has her go. And again, like, we're looking at someone who's a bit more muscular. I see her as more of a regular gym goer. She certainly has the kit. Like, maybe she just bought it in lockdown for a bit of exercise, but she certainly has the kit. She seems to know what she's doing exercise-wise as well, or the intent is to stay between those 2 cones and jump. She's trying hard, she's competitive, and she seems to be quite strong upper body-wise as well. So we were talking before on these media interviews with her big coat on and, you know, tiptoeing around, that she's like, looks like a very small... Emma does, doesn't she? She looks like a very small, frail, like, petite lady. Less so in these images. Still not tall, but less fragile, I would say. You know, when you talk about who might win in a fight between her and Nicola Bulley, say, and about whether she could, like, you know, really bang when it comes to, you know, being discovered and getting in a sudden altercation with Nicola Bulley, say, you know.
Go, mummy, go, mummy, go, mummy.
Or could you carry a body down to the end of your field at the back of your house? The kid jumps in, so I'm going to stop it there. But yeah, that's all available to everyone on the internet through their own website. So, you know, I'm stopping it there because of the kids. But if you just go onto their website, there's a button here that takes you to that, and then you can just watch it for yourself. So I haven't put videos of her kids on the internet available through her website for her business. She has. So that's on her. But I'm not showing you her kids. So everyone happy with that? Somehow, one of your Super Ink Junkies, you got pinned on the Super Chat somehow. I don't know how you got pinned. That stayed up there all day, that one. I got confused. Don't know how. You got a bonus for your super chat. Well done, you. I'm really grateful today for a lot of super chats have come in. You're really generous. Thank you. It's how I'm going to sustain and grow as a media producer. So I'm not beating around the bush here. I want those. I solicit those donations, so to speak, because I want that money. Absolutely. I need to make some money in my life. I need to be able to be sustainable as a media producer so that I can eat, pay bills, and, live a life. And hopefully we can do good things together, create value in the media. It won't always be this. Hopefully there'll be some change, some variety. I think I was saying yesterday I might lean more on this true crime area. Maybe on body language and other stuff. Maybe I do go more variety. You never know. I listen to you. I think that's really important. It is massively important. You are the people here watching. You are the audience, so to speak. But I think about you as you. Not as like the whole audience, just you. Do you know what I mean? I think about you and what you think. And when people say I'm not happy about this or my feelings, I listen. So I think of you as intelligent, thoughtful people. You certainly are clever people, clever chuffers, because some of the things that come up in my chat I couldn't think up. Like, clever chuffers. I'm glad that we've got this interesting group of people. I hope everyone feels welcome here. And I hope I'm grateful to you in chat for making them feel welcome as well. So thank you for that. We've not broke out into some massive argument or anything like that. Mother Bear 199, thank you very much, says Yum. I don't know where this is going, but it's going up, it's going on, it's going on, and it's going up, and you're not chuffing stopping it, all right? It's going on, it's carrying on. We've got more. Emma, we've got another half of this interview, for Christ's sake. I think we did so much good here today. I think, I'm impressed, actually. And before, I doing my little bits on the internet, doing my little episodes, but today, somehow, I like some of the things she said and some of the combinations, taking two interviews at the same time and putting those two things together. Oh, it was damning for Emma. I feel damning for Emma. Really, I'm not happy with what she was saying there, and I really hope that if anything comes out of it long term, ultimately it is about justice for Nicola. I will temper that by saying I've said it a lot of times, and yeah, T-minus 5 minute warning for you all now. T-minus 5 minute warning for you all now. Say thank you to each other, and we're going to knock it on the head in 5 minutes, which is what Emma said to Paul. But we're going to T-minus 5 minutes for you now. I will probably be back on the internet this weekend on Twitch, doing some Genshin Impact, maybe even some tarot reading on Twitch. But for me and YouTube this weekend, that's me. And no Sunday service this weekend planned, although I do consider it, but nothing planned. So back on Monday for me with Thus. We're going to carry on the narcissism. I'm interested. I'm actually thinking I'm building up a really great resource talking about narcissism. I'm learning loads about narcissists and how to spot them. And I found this last couple of weeks, I've been spotting a few in the media. So narcissism, big thing, big feature of our recent podcast work. And I'm proud of it. I'm pleased with it. Sometimes comes with a caveat, comes with a little warning. We talk about narcissists in relationships, and some of the people that are coming to chat have been in those relationships, and some pretty shitty stuff has happened. So they don't want to be reminded of it. So, we try not to go too dark and too deep on some of those darker, deep things, and try and keep it light and buoyant and bobbing along, but give things respect as well. Listen to all the people in chat there. So when we're finished with those red flags of the narcissist, we'll move on to a different topic. But at the moment, I'm really, really interested, and I'm really vibing with it, learning a lot from Steve, who is an expert, having studied a forensic psychology degree, has done a module or whatever, done a dissertation paper on whatever it is. He'll clobber me over the head for saying this wrong, but he's done a bit of his degree work on narcissism. So I'm down with that. And hopefully today we've done something good here as well. I don't know what. I'm just a super chuffer. I'm not a detective. I don't work for the police. I don't have the members of the family contacting me. I'm not defaming anyone. I just make stuff on the internet about live streams. I do live streams talking about interesting psychology and rabbit hole stuff. I didn't done a murder. I didn't. Somebody might have done a murder, but not me. So I don't know why they're coming at me. They don't have to come at me. But I'm really grateful to you. I'm really grateful to you. I think we've done a good one today. I was a bit worried, to be honest. Yesterday's episode that I thought was not bad lost me 3 subscribers. Let's see how this one goes. You know, if you're listening to this and you're not subscribed, let's see how this one goes. But if you're listening to this and you are subscribed and you want to help, of course, I'm so grateful for all that money that's coming today. So grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, if you know someone who's got a similar sense of humour, who's not watching these videos, if you know someone who's interested in the case but has not looked through our body language analysis, send them the video, drop it them on a Facebook. That sort of stuff, that organic sharing of the video is worth 10 times me telling people on Twitter, or have you watched my video? And it's 10 times me doing it. For you to suggest it to your friends, because they trust you. You've got a good, you know, you've got a good head on your shoulders. You recommend good stuff. So if you think it's good, recommend it, and I'm grateful to you for that. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, so yeah, absolutely, yeah. You unsubscribed, but you resubscribed. So I only lost 2 subscribers. But I shouldn't be putting out content and losing subscribers on it, should I? Like, I'm not doing that bad.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Shelley sent tippies. Great live Super Chuffer. Look forward to the next one. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you. We've got shots lined up now. We've got, you know, cartridges in the chamber. We're going to crack on with Emma White next week. That's lined up now. We're going to do the last 2 minutes of that interview, which will probably turn into 2 hours, and probably another viewing of the other interview, and, you know, another one of another one. Got Emma White lined up for next week. We've got Thus lined up for next week. I'm going to try and get another guest on next week. It might be another week after. I'm going to try and get another guest. Things are good. Things are good. You're good. Mainly you're good. You liked my binaural channel as well. Thank you, Ruby K. Yeah, I'll remind you as well. If you're stuck for something to watch, and you've watched all the videos on this channel, all the lives on this channel, which you haven't, go and have a look, watch them. But you can also check out the other channels, and if we can get monetization up on those channels, I'm going to get an editor involved to help do the clippies. So that's going to be great. That's our next flag in the map, along with some bigger content for the monetization of the members' goals and stuff like that, along with that. But step by step, steady. How do you do Discord? I will reiterate this one for you. I will show you this. Copy this. You follow this link. It will take you to Discord. If you don't have Discord, you download the app. Yeah? And then you've got Discord, and you follow the link, and you're in my server, essentially my stream server. You've been invited now. So when you get there, there's 2 new ones today. If you want to talk about true crime and Nicola Bulley, look for the true crime space and post whatever you want. I'm not always in there. I don't follow it like religiously, but I try and check in every couple of days on that and have a look at what people are saying. So Bob's asked me about Meerkat Squeeze Banana too. Now's not the right time, but I need to get back to him on that. See, I spot little things. You can talk to me through that. It's just another forum, another avenue. Lots of people use it these days. It's very much a streamer sort of thing to do. And we can have events there. We can do other, you know, it's a bit more free form. You can do voice chats and things if you want, and we can open up we can even open up an open voice thing one day, and people can hangout, it's called, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. So there's my Discord. Or your other options are the email truebinaural@outlook.com, or the Twitter, which is superchuffer @informalfilms. So you got that as well. I mean, that's enough, isn't it? You're talking to me now in comments as well. Isn't that enough? I should do Dan Walker as well. There's a lot to do. I'm going to try and keep the variety up as well, though, I think, and enable subtitles. I hope they are, Catwoman. If they're not, that's an oversight on my part. I hope they are. Actually, they might not be on this one. That's an oversight on my part. I apologise. I have to click. I thought because I clicked the button once, it's always clicked. It's not. I have to go and click it every time. I will do in the future. That's an apology from me for that one. Sorry, Catwoman. Get off. Thanks for tonight. Yeah, good point. Everyone's been good. You've been good. And remember, if you can't be good, you're naughty. But you're not. So I don't know why I said that.